Chapter 3963, Step Over My Body? Haha, this is the funniest joke I've ever heard. It's up to you? The red-haired man looked up at the sky and laughed. His voice was full of disdain, as if he had heard the funniest joke. How can you be a man who doesn't even have the supreme breath? I won't accept the favor of the princess. Today I'll weigh your weight. The reason why some people are stupid is that they don't know how much weight they have. How do you weigh the weight of a giant dragon? A flower growing up in a greenhouse has never been on a real battlefield. Dare to be arrogant? You are arrogant. Why do you want to humiliate me? Without a trace of awe, is it because I am too honest? Remember what I said, I would rather bully the arrogant people than offend the honest people, because once the honest people get angry, they won't even give you the chance to kneel down and beg for mercy. Long Chen looks at that red-hair man way. This time, he killed too many strong people in 30,000 worlds. Long Chen obviously felt that his dark power was ready to move again, and the dark power grew faster than he thought. The power of darkness will seriously affect his mood. He hopes that he can always be rational and not be affected by the tyranny. Otherwise, the more violent his temper is, the easier he will be angry. The more angry he is, the easier it will breed the power of darkness. Sooner or later he will be engulfed by another himself. Therefore, when he came to the Zhuge Empire, Long Chen wanted to accompany Qingxian quietly for a while, stay away from the killing and disputes, and let his heart calm down and stabilize his mood. But when I came to the Suk Empire, I met all kinds of provocations one after another, which made Long Chen very tired. This man was so humiliated to him. Long Chen's killing intention broke out in a flash, and some of it was out of control. Dragon? Ha, ignorant arrogance. Take it. The red-haired man laughed angrily and stopped drinking. The vision behind him trembled. The fury of his breath rose. The supreme blood and the supreme bone were temporarily released. He turned out to be a bipolar supreme. Boom! The red-haired man instantly raised his breath to the extreme, whistling with a long gun, oppressing the void, and his momentum was extremely amazing. When he burst into momentum, the surrounding buildings roared, forming a light cover, covering here. Obviously, this is a special fighting site. There is supreme blood and supreme bone in the sky. There is no sign of fusion between them. Your self-confidence is too blind. Long Chen, from that person a hand, saw the inside story of this person. This person's breath is old. He should be a strong man who has been sealed. Maybe he has been sealed for too long, or there is something wrong with the seal, which leads to the breath of the supreme blood and the supreme bone froze. Although he is nourished by the chaotic qi, he still can't merge. That is to say, this person has lost the opportunity of bipolar integration in his life. You fart, the red-haired man roared, and the long gun glowed, and two forces poured into the long gun. He had retained part of his strength in the previous blow, but now he has no reservation, and he has the heart to kill Long Chen. Don't! A strong man exclaimed, and there were more than a dozen strong men around. It turned out that they were all hiding around watching. They were shocked to see that the red-haired man wanted to kill Long Chen. They are all the bodyguards of Snow Princess Qian, and they are all super strong. As strong people, they have their own pride. They have also heard about Long Chen. When they learned that Qianshui Princess had made a bet with Long Chen, she was rejected by Long Chen. At that time, she was shocked and jealous of Long Chen. This time, Qianshui uses a trick to cheat Long Chen into his command. These bodyguards immediately have a mind to make a fool of Long Chen and kill him. The red-haired man volunteered. Originally, we all agreed to give Long Chen a little color to see if he could hurt his life. Otherwise, the princess would blame him and no one could afford it. But the red-haired man is eccentric and jealous, and he is extremely irritable because he has lost the chance of bipolar fusion forever. Now he is irritated by Long Chen and kills Long Chen. These people suddenly find that it's not good. If they kill Long Chen, they can't get away with it. But it's too late for them to stop. The long gun of the red-haired man has come to the front of Long Chen. Pa! Just when people thought that Long Chen was going to be seriously injured by the red-haired man, Long Chen held out his big hand and gently grasped the roaring long gun in his hand. Boom! The whole venue trembled slightly, the air waves were surging and swept all over the place. Long Chen held the tip of the gun in his hand and did not move, even his head and hair. What? The presence of the strong are stunned. The red-haired man's strength, although not the strongest of them, but also belongs to the medium. They were surprised that they were so easily caught with such a full blow, and they were still unarmed. Boom! When the red-haired man's long gun was caught, he was surprised and angry. The vision behind him was flowing, and his breath was surging. But he was allowed to pick, pull, push and pull. The long gun was still, as if it had been cast on the palm of Long Chen's hand. Have you waited out? Long Chen looked at the red-haired man, his face expressionless tunnel, at this time, as if a god, overlooking the ants. It is from the depths of the soul of contempt. For a moment, the red-haired man's face was twisted and ferocious. Suddenly, his whole body glowed and endless flames rose. Hu Ming, are you crazy? Seeing the scene, the guards were shocked and exclaimed. Hu Ming actually burned the supreme blood and bone to enhance his strength in this way of self-mutilation. They didn't expect that it was just a trial and humiliation plan, and it turned out to be like this. The scene was completely out of control. Boom! But let the red-haired man how to transport power, always can't dragon dust, that long gun always won't come back. Suddenly the long gun moved. It was not the red-haired man who took it back, but Long Chen who pushed it forward. Poof! The barrel of the gun pierced the red-haired man's chest. The red-haired man's breath dropped rapidly, and the intense pain made the red-haired man wake up instantly. His eyes were no longer angry, but scared. I give up. The red-haired man trembled. I said, don't provoke honest people, or you won't even be given the chance to kneel down and beg for mercy. Long Chen holds a long gun and picks up the red-haired man's body. His voice is cold and has no emotion. It's a split. Stop it. Seeing this, the more than 10 guards took action one after another. Someone attacked Long Chen, and someone wanted to take back the red-haired man. Roll! The dragon dust tongue is bursting with spring thunder, like the roar of the gods. In the voice, there is a 9-day dragon chant. The holy and magnificent power bursts out, and a sound wave spreads. If the strong ones were hit by the sledgehammer, they would fly backward one by one, even covering the big array here. In the roar of the dragon dust, they would burst into pieces and become hundreds of millions of runes scattered among the heaven and earth. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3964. The guards were shocked to blood, flying out in a panic like a rolling gourd, and their souls were almost torn by the roar of dragon dust. At the moment when the big array was broken, a bigger array lit up in the princess house, surrounded the whole princess house. Boom! That big array roared, rocked, and had a huge impact which made it crack like a cobweb. Then, in people's eyes, the second big array burst into pieces. For a moment, these guards all look at Long Chen in horror. At this time, Long Chen is holding a long gun, and the red-haired man is hanging on the barrel of the gun. At this time, the red-haired man had been shocked by the roar of Long Chen, and his whole body was cracked, almost broken by Long Chen. Long Chen, what are you doing? At this time, Yu Qiangshu's angry voice came. Princess, save me. This dragon dust is insidious and cruel. I just want to fight with him, but he wants to kill me. See more than 1,000 snow, that red hair man suddenly become have no fear, point to Long Chen to shout away. Long Chen, put him down quickly and say something well. Yu Qiangshu's face is gloomy. She doesn't know what happened, but she also guesses a general idea in her heart. Do you have something to say? The key is to speak well. Is anyone listening? Long Chen shook his head, looked at the red-haired man and said, I said, don't provoke honest people. Honest people don't mean they have no temper. When honest people are angry, they don't even give you the chance to kneel down and beg for mercy. Don't say it's Snow Princess Qian. Even if the Emperor Suk comes, you can't keep your life. Go with peace of mind. Dragon dust. Yu Qianxue was shocked. No. The red-haired man cried out in horror. Poof! With the flash of Long Chen's long gun, the red-haired man burst into pieces, and the blood mist filled the sky. This blow destroyed not only his body, but also his spirit. The more than 10 bodyguards looked at Long Chen in horror, as if they saw a bloodthirsty devil. At this time, Long Chen's face was calm, without any emotional fluctuation, as if he had done nothing, which was calm and palpitating. I don't have time to play this boring game with you. Don't waste my precious time or try to irritate me unless you are ready to die. Long Chen's eyes swept those bodyguards' cold tunnel. Long Chen has seen it for a long time. Although these bodyguards are highly cultivated, talented, and powerful, their real lethality is not worth mentioning. To put it bluntly, they have a strong strength, but they have not experienced the real battlefield strength, the tempering of life and death, blood and fire. When they meet the real strong, they cannot exert their real strength, and they will be destroyed. Let's not say anything else. In the 3000 world, any dragon blood warrior may not be as strong as them on the surface, but in the case of one-on-one, these people will surely die in the hands of the dragon blood warrior, without any suspense. A group of flowers growing up in the greenhouse are entertaining themselves in mutual praise, blindly confident and arrogant. I've seen a lot of people like you. You and I are not the same people in the world at all. The means and tricks you play, I stopped playing when I was a child. If you don't want to die, stay away from me. Long Chen Cold Tunnel. Long Chen doesn't want to kill people, but if he doesn't kill people, he can't intimidate these idiotic children. When the time comes, all kinds of challenges, all kinds of fault-finding, will make Long Chen bored. In this case, there is no way to practice in peace of mind, nor to concentrate on the 7-star battle. His time is precious. If he is delayed by these people, when the strong enemy comes, he and the people around him will die, even worse than anyone else. This group of people are scared to death by Long Chen, while Yuqiang's face is blue with anger. As soon as Yuqiangsu is about to speak, he suddenly trembles in the void. More than a dozen powerful people in gorgeous clothes and swords come. What makes Long Chen feel awe-inspiring is that all of these 10 strong men are bipolar. The details of the Suzaku Empire are really amazing. Princess, how can you make such a low-grade mistake? Let's go. The leader frowned. Yu Qianxue looked at Long Chen with a gloomy face and gnashing her teeth. You wait for me. When you come back, I'll deal with you and you. Yu Qianxue finished dragon dust, finger point to other guards. These guards all face ugly, dare not go to see Yu Qianxue. More than 1,000 snow-cold hum, so with the more than a dozen guards left, Long Chen alone, what is this situation? How was Yu Qianxue taken away? Why was she taken away? Long Chen asked. If you look at me and I look at you, there is no one to say. Dumb? If you want to be dumb, I can help you. Long Chen Cold Tunnel. As soon as the crowd trembled, one of them said in a hurry, My lord, according to the rules of the empire, no one can make noise in his residence and influence others. Just now, my lord made a move, but the grand array of the palace was not fully opened. The sound was too loud, causing a riot and alerting the guards in the palace. So, the princess was taken away. I'm afraid I'm going to be locked up for 3 days. 3 days of confinement? As soon as Long Chen was in a daze, he was just a little louder, and then he was caught and shut up for 3 days. Is the imperial princess so dignified? Yes, according to the accountability system of the empire, the managers should be held accountable first, and their subordinates should be punished for their crimes. Others in the empire may be better, but many laws of the empire are very strict with princes and daughters, far higher than the common people. The man was in a hurry. No wonder when Yu Qianxue left, she was gnashing her teeth and wanted to kill me. Long Chen did not dream he started to kill, but sent Yu Qianxue into a small dark room, which is a little funny. I don't know if she will dismiss me after I send her more times. Long Chen has an evil idea in his heart. At this time, there are some strong people coming, and their breath is much stronger than the guards before. And there are many familiar faces among them. They are the people who follow Yu Qianxue every day. They should be her confidants. At this time, these strong, ugly, coldly looking at Long Chen, without saying a word, the boss was sent in, these people, suddenly become leaderless. In this way, Long Chen waited for 3 days in Princess Qiangshi's mansion. Sure enough, 3 days later, Yu Qinxue came back. Her face was so gloomy that she wanted to eat people. Long Chen's residence, however, is enjoying a rich breakfast. When Yu Qinxue and all the bodyguards arrive, he turns a blind eye and eats his own. Long Chen, are you going to give me an account? After waiting for a long time, Yu Qinxue finally can't help but open her mouth, with anger in her voice and fierce eyes, eager to bite Long Chen. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3965. What do you want to explain? Long Chen finished eating, wiped his mouth and looked at Yu Qinxue Road. As soon as you came to my house, I was locked up in a small dark room for 3 days. What can I do for you? Yu Qinxue said angrily. It's none of my business that you're locked up in a small dark room? Is it because you are not strict in your administration and deliberately make things difficult for me and want to take my life, I can't fight back? Everything is your responsibility, and it has nothing to do with me. In addition, since we have signed the document, you need to provide me with the martial arts teacher's nameplate. You are free today, so do it, said Long Chen. To be a companion of the prince and the daughter shows that one's fighting capacity has been recognized, otherwise the prince and the daughter will not sacrifice a precious quota. Then, after the signing of the document, the signee will be promoted from an ordinary warrior to a warrior. After becoming a martial arts division, you will have a certain position. With this nameplate, you can enter the army directly. You don't need to start from an ordinary soldier, but directly at the captain level. After becoming a captain, compared with ordinary soldiers, it's easier to accumulate merits, get more opportunities, and start much faster than others. You still have the face to let me give you a martial arts teacher's nameplate? Yu Qinxue was so angry that her eyebrows stood up. Looking at Long Chen's upright appearance, she couldn't believe her ears. It's written on the paper. Dragon Dust Light Tunnel. Well, today you are my formal training partner. In a moment, we'll have a fight. With a cold hum, Yu Qinxue takes out a plaque, which is engraved with the word Martial Arts Master on the front, the design of Princess Mansion on the back, and the name of Yu Qinxue. In other words, the martial arts teacher's nameplate is certified by Yu Qinxue. If something goes wrong, Yu Qinxue will also be responsible. Long Chen took over the martial arts teacher's nameplate and showed a happy smile on his face. Thank you, don't be too busy, thank you. Now, you are my official training partner. I have the right to ask you to fight with me. Come and open all the 18 formations of Princess Mansion for me. More than 1,000 snow-cold tunnel, she looked at the dragon dust, seems to teach dragon dust a meal out of a bad breath. Forget it, your yang is greatly damaged, your yin fire is rising, your breath is impetuous, and your spirit is in a serious state of exhaustion. You are not suitable for fighting at all. You'd better change the day. Dragon Dust Light Tunnel. Long Chen doesn't know what the small dark room is, but after Yu Qinxue comes back, she obviously feels tired and not in good spirits. It seems that she has suffered from something because she is so strong. According to the paperwork, you can't refuse me. Even if I'm not at my best, I can win you. Yukiangsu Cold Tunnel. According to the documents, I am also entitled to refuse, such as am not feeling well. Long Chen Road. Why are you sick? Yu Qinxue said angrily. The physiological period is coming. Men are always uncomfortable for a few days every month. Long Chen's stall hands, some helpless tunnel. There's no shame. Yu Qiangshu's hair is about to stand up. The other bodyguards are looking at Long Chen with dull eyes. How can he say that? Well, since you say it's uncomfortable, I'll order you to show me the gate. Yu Qiangshu's voice is almost roaring. According to the agreement in the documents, the princesses and princes have the obligation to provide comfortable practice environment, rich income and relative security for the companions. Different from those bodyguards, it is not a real superior-subordinate relationship, but a simple employment relationship. In terms of salary, it is certainly not as good as those bodyguards. However, during the employment period, in addition to accompanying practice, some simple tasks can be assigned under the condition of ensuring that the personality of the employed is not insulted. Outside the imperial capital, there is a garden with a radius of hundreds of thousands of miles. In the garden, there are towering ancient trees and dense vegetation, in which countless rare and precious medicinal materials are planted. This is a huge pharmacy, which is a royal industry. Now it is under the jurisdiction of Snow 1000. In the Rosefinch Empire, the princes and daughters all have their own industries. Otherwise, the salary of the royal family alone will not be enough to support themselves, let alone cultivate their own power. The royal family will hand over part of the property to the princes and daughters. That is to say, the ownership belongs to the royal family. If the princes and daughters make mistakes, the royal family can take it back at any time. The princes and daughters have the right to operate such industries. After deducting the national tax, the operating income belongs to the princes and daughters. Because Longchen refuses to compete with Yukiangsu is furious and dominates Longchen to visit the gate of the medicine garden. It's a humiliating job, but Longchen is happy to come. It's said that there's a kind of spiritual creature called lightning sable living here. It's full of purple fur and has a little thunder power. Its combat power is not strong, but its speed is extremely fast and it's hard to catch. They don't hurt people, but they often steal into the medicine garden to steal all kinds of spiritual fruits. Moreover, they have a special ability to break the boundary of array. If you turn on the big array of the medicine garden, these lightning sable can't get in. But if you turn on all of them, they will be consumed. Most of the income of the medicine garden will be consumed by the big array. Therefore, in order to save money, people will be employed to patrol and drive away these lightning sable. Longchen comes to the pharmacy and directly enters the pharmacy. When he sees some precious medicines that he doesn't have in his chaotic space, he directly picks them, so he just acts as a guard. However, although there are tens of millions of precious medicines in this medicine garden, there are not many precious ones. Longchen only collected hundreds of them, and he has all the others. After the busy work, he comes to the gate. Just as he is about to continue to understand the 7-star battle, suddenly a lightning sable runs to Longchen. He is not afraid of Longchen at all and chirps at Longchen. "So this medicine garden used to be your home?" To Longchen's surprise, the soul of the lightning sable fluctuates, and he can roughly analyze it. Before the medicine garden appeared, it used to be the home of lightning sable. Later, when the medicine garden was built, the lightning sable was driven away. They have no choice but to go to other places to collect rare herbs with thunder attribute. However, due to the harsh geographical conditions in other places, they need to spend a lot of effort to pick them. I hope Longchen can accommodate them and let them pick a little. The lightning sable also said that Longchen has the blessing of colorful crane. He is a good man and will help them. Bang! Longchen picks up a stone from the ground, breaks through the wall and the border together, and says to the lightning sable, "Gather your family together and move it to your heart's content. It's not mine anyway." With these words, Longchen just sat in front of the gate and closed his eyes to understand. As a result, in less than half a day, Yu Qianxue came running angrily. He just saw thousands of lightning sables stealing treasure, and his face turned blue with anger. "Longchen, what are you doing?" "Look at the gate?" "Longchen Langyang Tunnel. Look at the gate. You don't care if these lightning sables steal precious medicine?" Yu Qianxue pointed to the lightning sable who ran away furiously. "You let me see the gate, but you didn't let me see anything else. I asked if you lost the gate. Is it broken?" Longchen asked. "You." More than 1,000 snow breath, almost a breath did not come up. She felt the whole body chi and blood surge on the top of her head. A whirl, unexpectedly so fell down. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3966. Longchen is startled and reaches out his hand to help Yu Qianxue. The other guards are shocked. How powerful is Yu Qianxue? How angry is he? But they don't have the courage to reach out to help Yu Qianxue. They don't even dare to get close. They can only watch from a distance. You know, Yu Qianxue has a habit of cleanliness. She never touches anyone, even if others are close to her. Longchen reaches out his hand to hold Yu Qianxue and points a finger on Yu Qianxue's eyebrow. he can't help but frown. His willpower is seriously depleted, and he has almost lost money. What is the small black house? That little black room is the most terrible spiritual punishment. In the little black room, it is isolated from the outside world, without light and sound, as if time is frozen. In the endless darkness, it seems that everything is static, which is the closest state to death. In the absolute darkness, people will release all negative emotions. I was punished once and only locked up for 1 day, but that day is as long as 10,000 years. After I came out, I almost lost my mind. I had a long rest before I regained my mind. Snow Princess Qian was locked up for 3 days. She was still awake after she came out. She was so powerful that she couldn't believe it. A bodyguard said, with a look of fear on his face, he didn't seem willing to recall that experience. That's right. Only those who have experienced it can know how terrible it is. It's like the demons sealed in the body are released and eating your soul. That kind of hesitation, fear, and helplessness can't be described by words at all. In a small dark room, if you face all your weaknesses, even the most powerful people will collapse. Another strong bodyguard also said, with fear in his eyes. Obviously, he was very afraid of the small dark room. Long Chen takes out a pill and gives it to Yu Qianxue. At the same time, the power of soul flows into Yu Qianxue's eyebrows to help her calm her mind and nourish her will. It's no big deal. She was just too excited. Just let her sleep. You can help the princess to have a rest. The dragon faces humanity. Everyone look at me and I'll look at you. No one stepped forward, but stepped back. Long Chen is stunned. He feels something is wrong. Suddenly Yu Qianxue's eyelids vibrate slightly. This is a sign of awakening. Long Chen seems to understand something and quickly pushes Yu Qianxue forward. The crowd exclaimed that Yu Qianxue was pushed to the ground directly by Long Chen. These people watched Yu Qianxue fall to the ground, but they didn't dare to help, which confirmed Long Chen's expectation. Bang! More than 1,000 snow fell on the ground. Dragon dust hand strength is not small. The earth was hit out of a human-shaped pit. Just then Yu Qianxue wakes up and gets up from the ground. When she looks around, the bodyguards are scared back. We didn't do it. When Yu Qianxue turned his eyes to Long Chen, the anger in his eyes was about to burst out, and Long Chen said in a hurry, I gave you a pill to gather your collapsing will, otherwise your spirit will have the sign of collapsing, and you will be in danger. It is said that you are inhuman. In order to show your innocence and save you, I will put you down to show my respect for you. Respect? You really respect me. Are you trying to farm me? Or do you want to bury me here? Yu Qianxue pointed to the human pit on the ground and roared. Isn't that for fear of your misunderstanding? In a hurry, it was a bit heavy. I apologize. But anyway, it's better for me to save you at the risk of being scolded by you than for them not saving you when they see death. You can't just scold me, can you? Long Chen points to that group of bodyguards and says, that group of bodyguards suddenly face changed. As soon as Yu Qianxue turned to look at the guards, her pretty face seemed to be able to scrape off a layer of frost, and the anger in her eyes seemed to light people. Get the hell out of here. The bodyguards, who were in a hurry to retreat, were scared at first, but after turning around, they became schadenfreude. Snow Princess Qian had to deal with this guy alone. After everyone left, Yu Qianxue drew out his sword and pointed to Long Chen and cheered coldly, I'm fed up with you. If you go on like this, I'll be angry with you. Well, win in the First World War. I won. From now on, everything you have is mine, and your people are mine. If I lose, everything I have is yours, including my people. If you agree or disagree, just say it. They'll go. This hot temper is the same as your broken father. Long Chen is in a daze. It's too hard. What's the matter? Didn't you just lose something? They'll compensate you for the big deal. Don't get angry. Long Chen advised. Do you think I'm short of that? You've made my mother angry. What do you say? Yu Qianxue said angrily. I can't help it. If you can't, just swallow it. Long Chen has some helplessness. Are you cursing me to die? Yu Qianxue is even more angry. You can see the flames above your head. If Long Chen's words are too irritating. I don't mean that. You can do whatever you want in your life? So, there is a good saying, life cannot be more satisfactory, everything is only half satisfactory. There's something about self-digestion, don't you think? Longchen said with a smile. It's disgusting when you laugh. Looking at the appearance of Longchen's playful face, Yukiangsu cold tunnel. It's nice of you to laugh, all right. Dragon dust speechless. This child, the brain is burned confused. Don't you dare to fight with me? Yukiangsu cold tunnel. Pull it down, girl. To tell you the truth, you people are all little farts in front of me. Don't say you are weak willpower, even in the state of total victory, you can't catch my 3 moves. Don't refuse, let alone what is a mule is a horse. Let's say, I've killed more people than you've ever seen. I've long been tired of this kind of fame, fighting and killing. I can see your depth at a glance, but you can't feel my danger. What's the difference? In addition, I never play this kind of game to kill people. My other skill is not to kill people. We don't have the hatred of killing our father or robbing our wife. Frankly speaking, you will still be my eldest sister in the future. Why should I work hard with you? Longchen exhorted painstakingly. Longchen can see that although Yu Qianxue is not kind-hearted, she is not evil. She will be relatives in the future, so there is no need to be too stiff. Longchen plans to use her platform to get closer to Yu Qingxian. How do you know who is better and who is weaker if you don't have a good fight? You are my companion, you have the obligation to accompany me to fight. I don't believe I can't beat you. If you don't cooperate, I will try my best to torture you until you give in. You don't have to keep the medicine garden. Go and raise fish for me. Yukiangsu cold tunnel. So the dragon dust was transferred from the drug garden to the royal fishing ground, arranged for the dragon dust. Yu Qianxue returned to her residence. She did not believe that the dragon and the dust did not yield. She was ready to start healing, but just ready to settle down. Suddenly someone ran in with fear and cried with tears. Princess Royal is not good, great event, dragon dust. He roasted His Majesty's favorite colorful dragon fish. What? Yu Qianxue is scared to death. It's your Majesty's treasure. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3967, Brother Yifeng, you really have a good mouth. I just baked the fish and you came here. It's better to come early. Let's have a drink. On the delicate grill, there is a fish about 3 feet long, which looks a bit like Menopterus albus. It has been roasted until it is full of oil, and its aroma is mouth-watering. On the table, Longchen took out 2 delicate wine bowls and poured the wine. Wow, brother, you really enjoy it. You were sent to raise fish by Snow 1000. I thought you would be in a low mood. I didn't expect you to be in such a good mood. Brother Lai, I'd like to propose a toast to you for my mistake. It's an apology to you. Zhu Yifeng wanted to comfort Longchen. After all, he did all this harm. Even if he was scolded, he recognized it. But I didn't expect that Longchen was so moistened that he roasted fish here. You know, the fishing ground here is a royal fishing ground, and all the fish are precious. The fish here is delicious and has a strong tonic effect. It can even be used as a medicine for alchemy. It is the best of fish and its value is amazing. Most people can't afford it. Haha, that's nothing. Come on, let's go. Longchen laughs and comes here to find that this is a good place. There are a lot of precious fish here. Longchen, whether it's ornamental fish or carnivorous fish, is touring the fishing ground and preparing to make a tooth sacrifice. When he is looking for a target, he finds a golden dragon fish grinning at him. Of course, Longchen is not used to its problems. Since he has brought it to the door, he directly takes it to the grill. Wow, good wine. After a mouthful of wine, Zhu Yifeng suddenly exclaimed that he had drunk such a mellow and powerful wine for the first time. Is this wine from? Zhu Yifeng was shocked. Of course, apart from the Dionysus Palace, who can brew such a divine brew? Come on, open up and drink. Enough. Longchen has no friends in Zhuke Empire. It's rare for him to have someone to drink with him. He's also very happy and gives Zhu Yifeng another drink. Zhu Yifeng even drank 3 bowls. After each bowl, he was amazed that there was such a good wine in the world. By contrast, The so-called wine he drank before was as plain as water. Don't just drink, but also eat fish. I have a hunch that this fish has an unusual origin. Its meat is absolutely delicious. Long Chen put a piece of fish in his mouth. The fish melted immediately. The sauce was full of oil, but it was fat but not greasy. It was very delicious. Ilgo. What kind of fish is this? So delicious? I've never had one. Zhu Yifeng had a bite of fish. He was both surprised and happy, and his eyes were shining. Today, he had a good start. Hey, I don't know what kind of fish. It's okay. If you like, they'll catch some for you. Anyway, I'm in charge here. If you want to say, this snow princess is good. She also gives me precious medicine and treats me to fish. Maybe I misunderstood her a little. Come on, let's go another way. Long Chen's mouth is full of fish. He raises his glass ambiguously and drinks with Zhu Yifeng. After drinking, Zhu Yifeng looked satisfied and felt the happiness he had never had. Elder brother, I tell you, although this snow princess has a bad temper, she has no scheming. She is the least threatening of all the princes and daughters. That's why I dare to come to you. If it's someone else, I dare not come here for fear of being framed. Zhu Yifeng sighed. So, this is a place of right and wrong. When I marry Qingxian, I'll let her live a carefree life and stay away from this place of intrigue. Come on, let's talk and drink. Long Chen holds the wine cup again. Two people eating fish, chatting. Zhu Yifeng seems to find a confidant, constantly pour bitter water, such as how severe mother, how indifferent father, how fighting between brothers and sisters, a deep sea of misery. I don't know when I will be able to get rid of the sea of misery. Zhu Yifeng sighed. You'll be out of your misery soon. At this time, a cold voice came. It was Yu Qianxue who came in a rage. Her face was cold and she looked at Long Chen. It seemed that she was going to bite Long Chen to death. Yu Qianxue came with hundreds of bodyguards behind him. Many of them were strong men that Long Chen had never seen before. They had strong breath one by one, and some of them were not even under Yu Qianxue. Oh, there are so many people here. I'm sorry, I just baked a fish, which is not enough for everyone. You said before you came, give me a message. I'll bake a few more. Long Chen said with a smile. Snow Princess, sit down and eat together. The fish is delicious and there is good wine. Zhu Yifeng makes way for Yu Qianxue. You'd better eat it yourself. Maybe this is your last meal. Eat more and don't lose yourself. Yukiangsu Cold Tunnel. Snow Princess, what are you talking about? It's just a fish. You're not going to kill us both. Zhu Yifeng said with an embarrassed smile. Of course, I won't kill you, someone will kill you, and because of you two idiots, I have to be implicated. Long Chen, you sweeper, are you going to pit me? Yu Qianxue couldn't help it anymore and roared. Zhu Yifeng's face suddenly changed. He felt something was wrong. Looking back at the fish on the grill, he felt a thump in his heart and said to Long Chen in a trembling voice, Brother, do you have 7 colors for this fish? No. Long Chen shook his head. Oh my God, I'm scared to death. It's not just 7 colors. Zhu Yifeng gave a long sigh of relief. I ask you, how many colors do its scales have? Yu Qianxue asked. Long Chen is very resolute, which he still remembers. What about lips and whiskers? Yukiangsu Cold Tunnel. I didn't notice that. When you say that, it seems that the fish's lips and whiskers really have different colors. Long Chen pondered. Putong. Brother Zhu, what's the matter with you? Why is your face so ugly? When Long Chen saw Zhu Yifeng sitting on the ground, he seemed to be paralyzed and pale. Big brother, we're dead. You roasted the colorful dragon fish, which is the most precious of your father. Zhu Yifeng said with a cry. The whole person was scared out of his mind. No wonder it's so delicious. It's what the emperor ate. Long Chen suddenly realized. Nonsense, you know a fart. It's the medicine that my father raised. The gall of colorful dragonfish is the holy medicine for refining Sanhua Jintian pill. Do you know what Sanhua Jintian pill is? Yu Qianxue was so angry that he wanted to kill people. Long Chen didn't realize what a big mistake he had made. He thought it was as simple as eating a fish. I know that it's the elixir that Dizuan needs to be promoted to Tianzuan, and the colorful dragonfish gall is one of the main medicines. Dragon Dust Light Tunnel. Do you know? There is only a colorful dragonfish in the Zhuke Empire. You baked it? Yu Qinxue is so angry that she grabs Long Chen's neck and spits on her face. At this time, she doesn't care about the royal etiquette. Here comes the emperor. At this time, a eunuch's voice came, and then Long Chen felt that the breath of fire was coming. The flame was the breath of anger. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3968. Emperor Yu Shaoyan, wearing a dragon robe and carrying both hands, was accompanied by several eunuchs and a group of well-dressed guards. Yu Zhaoyan's face was as gloomy as water, so frightened that Yu Qinxue and Zhu Yifeng fell to their knees in a hurry. My son's ministers see my father. Yu Qiangshi's bodyguards, kneeling on the ground, were silent and did not dare to say a word. Yu Shaoyan didn't even look at Yu Qinxue and Zhu Yifeng. He looked at Long Chen coldly. Boy, you are so brave. Thank you for your praise. Long Chen has no other strong points, so he has more courage than others. When Long Chen sees Yu Shaoyan, he still thinks about how to do it at the beginning, but as soon as Yu Shaoyan opens his mouth, Long Chen is full of confidence. Do you know what kind of fish you are eating? Yu Shaoyan said angrily. I didn't know it before, but it's too late to know. Now that it's done, why don't your majesty take a break from the thunder and have a drink? Long Chen said with a smile. Yu Qinxue and Zhu Yifeng almost didn't get scared. This guy is too brave. He dares to say anything. After eating the emperor's colorful dragonfish, he even wants the emperor to eat their leftovers. Is this guy dying? Do you believe he'll slap you to death? Yu Shao was so angry that his lungs would explode. I don't believe it. He'll eat you a fish? I'm your future son-in-law. Human life is more expensive than fish life. You won't kill me because of a fish. Dragon dust is full of air. Yu Shaoyun said angrily. Fart, you dare to say that you haven't got a word yet? Don't say you are just a civilian now. No, I'm a noble martial arts teacher now, thank you. Long Chen shows the nameplate in his hand. He is very confident. The status of a martial arts master is much higher than that of a civilian. Yu Qinxue is trembling with anger. This dragon dust is very harmful to people. At this time, the martial arts teacher's nameplate is on. It's to drag her to death. If the emperor wasn't here, she would like to beat the dragon dust storm now. It's not like that. Don't say you are a martial arts teacher. Even if you are my son-in-law, I have the right to kill you. Yu Shaoyun has a gloomy face. What's wrong with me? Long Chen pretends to be a fool. Isn't it wrong that you killed the colorful dragonfish that I have kept for hundreds of years? It's a crime of deceiving you. Yu Shaoyun cheered. And then? How do you punish me? You don't really want to kill me and avenge your fish, do you? Isn't that ridiculous? Long Chen stall hands. A dead pig is not afraid of hot water posture. You. Although Long Chen ate his dragonfish, which is extremely hateful, it is impossible to say that he killed him for this reason. There is no such article in the law, and Long Chen is not a prince or a daughter, so he can't use the royal family rules to deal with it. If he uses the law to deal with it, he can at most make Long Chen pay compensation, and he can be put in prison for 1 month at most. I will not kill you, but I can drive you out of the Rosefinch Empire and never set foot in the territory of Rosefinch. Yu Shaoyun Cold Tunnel. No, you won't do that. Long Chen shook his head. Why can't I? Yu Shaoyun said. The so-called soft mouth of eating others, shorthand of taking others, I ate your fish, it's my fault first, I don't want to explain. But if this is not true for this reason, I believe you will never do that. Long Chen rode. Haha, being smart, I hate you. Why can't I expel you? Yu Shaoyun sneered. I ate your fish, but you also drank my wine. Everyone is even. I don't believe you will do that. Otherwise, your reputation will be ruined. Please think twice. Long Chen said with a smile. Nonsense, when will I you? Yu Shaoyun suddenly thought of something, his face became cloudy and sunny. Yes, Rosefinch pear flower wine. Long Chen, with a smile, said the name of the wine, but he didn't go on. You Xiaoyun trembles with anger. Now he understands that the rosefinch pear wine he drank before was not from the elder of Jiang Huixin's family, but from Long Chen. Now, as Long Chen said, he drank the wine of Long Chen. Although he didn't know it, it was an unchangeable fact. In this way, he couldn't punish Long Chen for eating his colorful dragonfish. After a long time, Yu Xiaoyun didn't know what to say. At last, he said angrily, "Well, boy, you are very powerful. However, expulsion can be exempted, and punishment can't be evaded. One of you is not strict, one of you is careless in making friends, and one of you has eaten my colorful dragonfish. All of you have entered the small dark room to reflect on yourself for 3 days." When she heard that the small black house had been closed for 3 days, Yu Qiangsh's face changed greatly. She had just been closed for 3 days. If she was closed for another 3 days, she would collapse and become a madman. Zhu Yifeng was so scared that he was paralyzed. His willpower was weak that he could only stay in the small black room for 1 day at most, which was killing him. But Yu Qianxue and Zhu Yifeng did not dare to refute. At this time, the emperor was in a state of rage, and any refutation would bring more severe punishment. It's nothing to do with them. One person does the work and the other person does it. It'll take the days of both of them. 3 get 9. It's better to be more straightforward. They'll send you another day and you'll squat for 10 days. How about that? You don't suffer either. Dragon Dust Light Tunnel. You're crazy. No one can live in a dark room for 7 days. More than 1,000 snow-shocked, not to be scolded by the emperor, cannot help but plug in. Do you think I'm talking business with you? How can you bargain? Yu Xiaoyun said angrily. If you say that, I don't like to hear it. To put it bluntly, you punish them not because they have really done something wrong, but because they are angry with them. If you want to educate your children and teach them to become useful in your own way, I will not express my opinion. But now you are obviously venting your anger on others. I'm afraid it will damage the image of the king of your country. King, the way of king, the way of king, the way of forbearance. The more high-ranking people are, the more forbearance they know, but I don't seem to see that in you. If you are determined to punish them, I will go to the imperial palace to complain. I said, because of my affairs, you have not abided by the principles of fairness, impartiality, and openness. You have made my test more difficult. Please come and judge me. Long Chen is neither humble nor arrogant. Yu Qianxue and Zhu Yifeng are shocked. They are so big. It's the first time that they see someone dare to talk to the emperor like this. They are still threatening the emperor. Good. Boy, you have the guts. Today, I will depend on you. Don't blame me for not reminding you that the highest record of a small dark room is 6 days. I don't know how many people died in it. Do you really want to carry it for them and squat for 10 days? Yu Xiaoyun Cold Tunnel. Although I don't have any status, I know that my eldest husband has a lot to say and will never repent. Long Chen Road. Well, I'll see if it's your mouth or your will. After that, Yu Xiaoren and I stopped to see him. Long Chen, Yu Qianxue and Zhu Yifeng www. Novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3969. Your Majesty, you must send the dragon dust into the small dark room. Don't tell me that you can't see his heavy heart demon. It's not a joke. Yu Xiaoyun is sitting in front of the grill, eating fish and drinking wine. 2 queens, Jiang Huixin and Su Lanxin, arrive. Su Lanxin says directly. Su Langxin's face is quite angry. When they reach this realm of cultivation, they can easily feel one's mood from one's eyes. And Long Chen doesn't defend them, so they can see a part of Long Chen's heart, the powerful demons in Long Chen's heart, and they can see it clearly. The small dark room, which is dedicated to temper people's will and guide people's negative emotions, is said to be a punishment for the princes and daughters, but it is also a kind of temper and test. But for those who have demons in their hearts, if they are sent to the small dark room, they will be sentenced to death, which is the cruelest and most painful death penalty. People will die in the suffering of demons in their hearts. Once the demons have the upper hand and control the whole soul, the people in the small dark room will surely die. There is no remedy or remedy. I can't say that. It's the boy who wants to go in. I didn't force him to go. I have to make a statement first, and I reminded him. Don't blame me. I haven't settled with you. I've lost so much face. Fortunately, I can make up for the loss. Yu Xiaoyun looks at them, but he is not very angry. It is obvious that they have concealed the origin of Zhuke pear flower wine, so that he can't catch the handle of Longchen. Your Majesty. Su Lanxin frowned and wanted to continue to say something, but she was pulled by Jiang Huixin. Jiang Huixin said with a smile, Your Majesty is the Emperor of Xingming. Everything is under control. Let's not worry. Come on, it's rare for Your Majesty to have a nice drink. This should be your colorful dragonfish. It looks delicious. Well, it's a good thing I went early and I still have half of them left, otherwise these two little bastards will be ruined. But this boy's skill is really good. He didn't spoil the colorful dragonfish. Two queens, eat together. There's no outsider here. Yu Xiaoyun said. The king of a country eats what others have left. If it comes out, it will make people laugh at him. Therefore, Yu Xiaoyun turns everyone back and starts a big battle. He is not afraid to be known. In fact, Long Chen and Zhu Yifeng didn't eat a few, because they were too delicious. If they ate too fast, they would spoil the food. The jar of good wine that Long Chen took out was a big jar. It contained no less than 100 jin of good wine. Long Chen was going to have a good drink with Zhu Yifeng. At this time, it was all cheaper for Yu Xiaoyun. After confiscating the stolen goods, Yu Xiaoyun could feel more comfortable. After eating a few mouthfuls of fish, the three people are full of praise. On the one hand, the colorful dragonfish is delicious. On the other hand, Long Chen is an alchemist who knows how to better stimulate the taste of fish. The seasoning is just right, and the fire is impeccable. Meat is good meat and wine is good wine. Suddenly, Jiang Huixin said with a smile, Our sisters really want to thank the child Longchen. If it wasn't for him, Your Majesty would not like to roast this dragonfish for us. Su Lanxin also smiles. This colorful dragonfish is extremely precious. If it wasn't for the arrival of Longchen, they would never know what the dragonfish tastes like. The queen is serious. Am I such a mean person? You want to eat fish, is not a matter of a word? Yu Xiaoyun was embarrassed. Of course, the fish is dead, and he can only say so. If he is alive, he will not eat it. Longchen there. Su Lanxin is still worried. Empress, don't worry. I've ordered people to set up surveillance in the small black house. After Long Chen enters the small black house, everything is under our control. Nothing will happen. I just want this boy who doesn't know the heaven and earth to suffer. Yu Xiaoyun said. Jiang Huixin and Yu Xiaoyun are relieved to hear that. Since Yu Xiaoyun allows Long Chen to repent, it's easy to do. Long Chen, do you really want to go? I'll tell you, nobody can survive 7 days in the dark room. You're too reckless. After the emperor left, Yu Qinxue looked at Long Chen with complicated eyes. She didn't expect that Long Chen was so righteous that she resisted all of them alone. Although all this was caused by Long Chen himself. Elder brother, we'd better admit our mistake with our father and ask him to take it back. We'd better be alone for 3 days. Zhu Yifeng bit his teeth. Long Chen looks at Zhu Yifeng, who is quite righteous. Long Chen laughs and says, Your willpower is so weak, you'd better forget it. In fact, you are very good-looking, Yu Qianxue said angrily. What are you doing with all this useless bullshit? Can it solve the problem? Dragon Dust is not angry, said with a smile. I never do things that I'm not sure about, and I won't make fun of my own life. The reason why I want to enter the small dark room is my reason. Don't worry. After Long Chen finished, he left under the leadership of the royal bodyguards. When the bodyguards wanted to put the shackles on him, Long Chen turned his face directly. Don't mess with me, I'll smack you with my big mouth. Long Chen is neither a prince nor a daughter. He doesn't need to abide by the royal rules. As soon as those royal bodyguards' faces changed, they were about to get angry, but an old man at the head said, Forget it. The old man was also wise and knew how to judge the situation. Long Chen didn't even give the emperor face, let alone give them face. Now they still can't figure out the origin of Long Chen. If they allow the past treatment of princes and daughters to be short, they may suffer a great loss. So, the dragon dust was taken to a square palace. The palace is square, the whole body is dark, that kind of black, as if can swallow the light. Close to it, feel the light of the sun is dim. At the same time, a gloomy breath came to his face, and Long Chen was slightly stunned. The breath of hell? This breath is familiar, which is very similar to the breath of hell. The dark breath is enough to draw out the most primitive fear in people's hearts. Even the guards, looking at the dark palace, their faces become a little unnatural. Kaka kaka. The stone gate of the palace rises. After entering, a bigger palace appears. This is actually a visual difference. It contains space and looks bigger than the palace outside. The bodyguards stopped moving when they arrived at the gate. Longchen went all the way into 18 palaces, which grew bigger and darker. The big door behind formed a long passage. At this time, Longchen seemed to be walking towards the abyss of death step by step. When dragon dust enters the 18th palace, the door of the palace falls one by one. At that moment, the whole world is quiet, without any light or sound. One person is in endless darkness, and endless negative emotions such as darkness, loneliness, fear and hesitation come. If ordinary people come here, they will have a mental breakdown. Even practitioners can't bear the terrible darkness. Long Chen smiles and sits cross-legged on the ground. He closes his eyes and feels the darkness quietly. Come out. I want to talk to you. www.Ninefold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3970. But Long Chen waited for a long time, but there was no movement. Long Chen was not worried, so he waited patiently. Long Chen sat there as if he had settled down. In the endless darkness, he had a special sense of security instead of knowing why. Little by little, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, Long Chen sat there motionless, as if settled in general, no response. In the palace, in front of a mirror, Yu Xiaoyan, Jiang Huixin and Su Lanxin look at each other face to face. Is this small dark room invalid to Long Chen? The small dark room is a place where the realm and accomplishments are ignored. Even the most powerful people, as long as they have weaknesses, their weaknesses will be magnified infinitely, and negative emotions will attack them. People can only support them to survive the time limit. In the small dark room, it's a real time to live like a year. Every breath is suffering. Loneliness, fear, anxiety, despair and other emotions are just like the devil hidden in the human body and the soul. You can't fight back, you can only defend passively. Even if they are 3 masters, they will be very embarrassed when they enter the small dark room. Every time they come out of the small dark room, they are exhausted and need to cultivate for several days. However, unlike the princes and daughters who made mistakes, they entered voluntarily in order to temper their stronger spiritual will. But even they, the first day may not be much, the second day began to feel a little uncomfortable, the third day will be uncomfortable to the limit, and at this time, they will be in the limit. They can last up to 2 more days. 5 days is their longest record, while the longest record in the history of Small Black House is 6 days. Now, Long Chen is sitting in the small dark room. 3 days later, Long Chen seems to have no reaction. He sits there with a peaceful face and no uncomfortable appearance, which makes them all shocked. It's only 10 days altogether. 3 days have passed. Don't you plan to come out to meet each other? Long Chen said to himself. But there is still no voice to respond to him. His voice, also submerged in the endless darkness, even can't hear himself. But Long Chen is always in no hurry, no response, has been so sitting, quietly waiting. 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, Yu Xiaoyan 3 people more and more shocked. How is this going on? Has this never happened? Until the 7th day, a dark shadow appeared in front of Long Chen. Yu Xiaoyan and others suddenly came to the spirit. Who? Suddenly, a hand stretched out from the dark shadow. The mirror in front of Yu Xiaoyan's 3 people suddenly lost its light and turned into a dark mass. Nothing could be seen. That's the heart dust dragon. It found us. 3 people are surprised. They finally understand what is the dragon dust. This is to face his heart. What to do? Do you want to open the little dark room? Su Lanxin asked. Don't make a joke about it. Jiang Huilong's idea is that he's not going to lead a child out of his mind. At this time, Yu Zioyan's hands untied the print, and the mirror kept glowing, but it was still dark inside, and nothing could be seen. It's useless. It seems that Longchen's demons have been waiting until now. They just don't want us to see it. Moreover, they can make use of the power of the small dark room to make us unable to peep. Jiang Huixin advised. Hearing this, Yu Xiaoyan can only give up, but looking at the dark mirror, he is not willing but helpless. In the endless darkness, a cold voice said, "At the beginning of any man, his nature is good, which is bullshit. Man is born evil. When you see a beautiful flower when you are still ignorant, your nature wants to possess it and pick it in your hand. When you see a white wall, the first thing you think of is to doodle with a pen to make a stain on it. Your nature is evil and dark, so in this dark world full of negative emotions, you can be like a duck to water. But you choose to walk in the light, constantly restrain yourself, suppress yourself, deny your instinct. Do you say you are tired? That voice is another dragon dust, that is, Dragon Dust's heart demon. Dragon Dust knows that it will become active here, and can hear his voice. Sure enough, he finally comes. Papa Longchen applauded. You really grew up. Before you came out to see me, you didn't directly suppress me and violently fight for control as before. I'm very surprised that you show up in such a way as two peas, the space is slightly quivering, and a man who looks exactly like the dragon dust appears before the dragon dust. When it appears, it brings a light to the whole world, and both the dragon and the dust and his demons can see each other's faces. The only difference between Longchen's heart demons and Longchen's is their eyes. Longchen's eyes are black and white, while the heart demon's eyes are dark, like black holes, as if they can devour the universe, which makes people feel infinite fear. Attack the heart first? Unfortunately, I know you, but you don't know me. You lead me out to fight me and try to ease my fear through a victory. You have just learned some terrible tricks from the dragon strongman. Now is the best time to deal with me. But you didn't calculate that there is the star core of the dark world in this small dark room. Here I have endless power. If you fight with me, you have no chance of winning. Moreover, with your pride, I believe you will not use the Emperor Rosefinch to help you suppress me. You have your pride, but I also have my pride. I disdain to use the star core here to deal with you. In terms of current strength, you are not my opponent, and in terms of growth speed, you are far inferior to me. Now, not in a hurry. If you suppress yourself, the faster I grow up. If you release me, I will control this body. I've seen the future, and the whole world will be mine. Another dragon dust very confident tunnel. Are you sure you are the real me? Longchen smiles and asks. Of course, I am the nature, I am the instinct, so I am the true self, and you are constantly suppressing your desire, nature and instinct. What others can do, you can't do. Others can kill wantonly, but you can't. It's only for others to see that it's hypocritical and illusory, and am the most real. Since I can exist in this world, I am qualified to dominate this world. What do I have to do with black and white, right and wrong, right and wrong? What I want to do is to live with me and die against me. I am the truth and the Dharma. Another cold tunnel of Longchen. You mean that people should be spontaneous and do anything mean and insidious? That's the real me, isn't it? Longchen asked. That's right. It's just that you can use all kinds of evil moves, and you don't need to be shameful at all, right? Of course. Then I have nothing to be embarrassed about. All of a sudden, Longchen's hands were sealed. Suddenly, the void burst open, and a big bronze tripod flew into the air to face another Longchen cover. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3971. Do you play shady tricks? Another dragon dust is surprised and angry. It's too late to dodge. It's obvious that dragon dust has been ready for a long time and doesn't give him the chance to dodge. Bang! The ancient bronze tripod buckles down, and immediately above the ground, the flame and thunder interweave to form a barrier, trapping another dragon dust firmly in the ancient bronze tripod. Long Chen, you are despicable. Another dragon dust roared in the bronze tripod and kept pounding the tripod, but the tripod did not move, let him swallow the sky, and could not turn up any waves in the tripod. Hey, no, it's not shameless. It's called returning to the true self. Didn't you teach me that? Life, the most important thing is happy, is casual, is to do whatever you want. This is not what you say? Why are you so hypocritical? Long Chen laughs. When Lingu Ding and Lei Er suddenly turned over and sealed the mouth with all their strength. You want to seal me? Dream, boom, another dragon dust roars with a loud noise. The thunder fire seal composed of Hua Linger and Lei Linger is all cracked in an instant and almost shattered by a blow. You know, Long Chen has been preparing for this plan for several days. In order to succeed, Long Chen lets Hua Linger and Lei Linger keep their energy. At this time, they have no reservation, and all their strength is used on the seal. But another dragon dust's strength is too strong, Fire Spirit Sun and Thunder Spirit Sun join forces, also can't seal him. Boom, at this moment, the heavy lid of the ancient bronze tripod was tightly closed. Most of the tripods had no lid, but this ancient bronze tripod had a lid. When the lid fell, the roar of the bronze tripod came, Long Chen, you wait for me. Next time, I won't talk to you anymore. I will control my body directly. You wait for me. You are so boring. I'm bright and kind. You call me hypocritical, I'm dark and evil, and you call me despicable. You say you are the real me. I don't believe it. Let's not talk about each other. Time will prove everything. With a smile, Long Chen takes the bronze tripod back to the soul space. You can't control this bronze tripod at all, and you can't seal me forever. It'll come out soon and I'll settle it with you. Another dragon dust roars. Calm down. I don't intend to keep you locked up all the time. It's just that there are only 1,000-day thieves, not 1,000-day thieves. I'm always on guard against you. I'm too tired. I just take the opportunity to take a holiday and relax. When I'm in good shape, we'll fight again. Long Chen said with a smile. You wait for me, you will pay for your stupidity in the end. Another dragon dust Wei finished saying he never spoke again. Long Chen carefully examined the ancient bronze tripod and found that the whole tripod was perfectly matched, but between the mouth and the lid, he could still feel the power of darkness slowly overflowing. Long Chen knows that this is the power of his inner demons. As his inner demons said, although he was locked in the ancient tripod, because Long Chen can't use the ancient tripod, he can't really seal it. His power still keeps spilling out. One day he will escape. But that's the future. At least in a short period of time, he won't have to worry about the devil. It can be said that this plan is quite successful. After Hua Linger and Lei Linger return to the chaotic space, what makes Long Chen surprised is that their source loss is extremely serious. The attack of the demons directly hurt their source. This makes Long Chen feel shocked. You know, he doesn't have the time to build up his power for the demons. That is to say, it's just a normal blow. But this ordinary blow can hurt Lei Linger and Hua Linger to the source, which Long Chen thinks he can't do. Fortunately, he won with wisdom. If he fought hard, even if he had Dragon's unique skills, he was not sure whether he could beat him. Damn, why does he grow up so fast? If you don't do anything, you will be able to move up. It's unfair. Long Chen can't help cursing. However, after temporarily lifting the heart demon crisis, Long Chen feels relaxed. In the endless darkness, he has an inexplicable sense of security, as if the darkness is his home. Here, he feels calm and full of security. Yes, you have temporarily solved the heart devil crisis, so you can safely gather a new 7-star battle body, so you don't have to worry about him controlling you when you are weak. The voice of the dragon strongman rings in Long Chen's mind. Master, I've thought of hundreds of ways. Can I try to gather a new 7-star body? When the dragon strongman talks, Long Chen gets excited. Long Chen has long wanted to try to gather a new 7-star battle body, but the dragon strongman has never spoken, and he dare not try. Now your strength is not enough. My suggestion is that when you reach the strength of 3,000 dragons, You can gather a new 7-star battle body to minimize the risk. You know your own luck, so you can't expect it to live, you have to be steady. Longchen Road. The power of 3,000 dragons, what is that? Longchen asked. That's an algorithm of our dragon people's power. In some ancient heritages, the standard of this power also continues. The Rosefinch Empire where you live has this kind of algorithm. If you have time to test it, you will know. The dragon people are strong. With that, the dragon strongman lost his voice again. Longchen asked a few questions, but the dragon strongman didn't answer, as if he had cut off the contact with him. Longchen doesn't care. Anyway, the biggest crisis has been relieved, and his whole life has become relaxed. Take out the bed, so in the small dark room, sleep a big sleep. There are days of demons, he has been under great pressure, the spirit has to be highly concentrated, for fear of being unconsciously affected by demons, he has not slept for a long time, for fear of being in a dream, invaded by demons. Now that the demon is locked up, he can finally sleep at ease. Almost as soon as he lies on the bed, he has entered the dream. Yu Xiaoyun and others who are monitoring the small dark room in the Imperial Palace don't see the heart demon at all. When Longchen takes away the heart demon, the picture of the small dark room appears in the mirror. At that time, Longchen is sleeping with a quilt. The three look at each other, not knowing what happened. They are shocked when Longchen lies on the bed and falls asleep. Longchen sleeps so soundly in the dark room. Longchen's sleep is 3 days and 3 nights. In his dream, Longchen returns to Tianwu and sees his parents and sister. The whole family is eating together. Mengqi, Chu Yao, Tang Weiner, Yi Zhiqiu, Dong Minjiu, Zian, Lu Rian and other confidants also appear. Longchen was so excited that he quickly put on the big table. As soon as everyone was seated, the door opened on the void, and the endless light reflected on the two figures. Although he could not see their faces clearly, Longchen was so excited that he cried out, "Parents!" At this time, a pair of warm jade hands stroked Longchen's cheek, and Longchen cried and grasped those hands. "Mother, do you know how much I miss you? I always see you in my dream. When I wake up, you are gone. Don't leave me, okay?" All of a sudden, Longchen wakes up with tears. The light in front of him is so dazzling that he can't open his eyes. But to his disappointment, the two people in front of him are not his parents, but Jiang Huixin and Su Lanxing. It turns out that the door in the dream is the door of the small dark room. The strong light shines on Longchen's face. The dream will wake up after all. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3972. Many dark rooms open and light comes in. Longchen's face is full of tears. At this time, he is not the dean of Lingshao Academy, nor the mighty arrogant. Now he is like a helpless child. The yearning eyes, the helpless expression, deeply hurt people's heart. When Longchen see clearly in front of people, the kind of loss is heartbreaking. I'm sorry. I've met 2 aunts. After the loss, Longchen gets up from the bed and salutes them. Son, can you tell your aunt about your father and mother? Jiang Huru said. Longchen just stabbed her heart, also deeply inspired her motherhood. She wanted to help Longchen. Longchen said with a smile, in fact, there's nothing to say. I don't know what my father and mother look like. My aunt's kindness is appreciated by me. At the beginning, although he was a little lost, Longchen soon adjusted. After the demons calmed down, he felt relaxed and full of confidence in the future. He knew that his mother must be alive. Luo Zichuan didn't tell him all the time. There must be his own reasons. And his father, in the mouth of Long Outyen, Longchen also got the news, since they are alive, that meeting is sooner or later. He is very optimistic. Seeing Longchen's refusal to speak, Jiang Huixin's eyes flashed a touch of kindness. She knew that Longchen was not an ordinary child. He must have been under a lot of pressure, just didn't say it. Well, 10 days have passed. Sister Huixin and I came to see you because we were worried about your soul and will. Now it seems that we are worried for nothing. Su Lan is sincere. When they saw that Longchen was full of spirit and energy, they could not help but wonder. Did the little black room really fail? Long Chen saluted and said goodbye to them. After walking out of the small black house, he stretched out in the bright sun for a long time. At this time, Long Chen felt that he was full of strength and felt better than ever. Big brother, as Long Chen finished stretching, he saw Zhu Yifeng and Yu Qianxue coming from a distance. Zhu Yifeng exclaimed in surprise, "Big brother, are you okay? What can I do for you?" After a sleep in the small dark room, I feel better than ever. Let's go, men. Continue to take you to eat fish. Long Chen laughs. When it comes to eating fish, Zhu Yifeng shivers. It's obvious that he was scared last time. When he heard the fish, he was cold all over. Yu Qianxue looks at Long Chen up and down, and sees that Long Chen is really full of spirit, and his state is better than when he comes in. He can't understand why he doesn't know. Does it open the back door for Long Chen? Let's go. Let's go back to the mansion first. Yuqian Snow Road. Long Chen said with a smile, "Look at the gate of Yaoyuan, fish farm, what do you want me to do next?" "Don't you want me to feed the spirit beast? You think it's beautiful. If it goes on like this, my family will be ruined by you." Later, Yu Qianxi's voice turned into a roar. After roaring, Yu Qianxue realizes that there can't be any noise here, and leaves with Long Chen and Zhu Yifeng. All the functions of the small black house are normal, every rune is intact, and the core of the star field is also in normal operation. It's reasonable to say that there shouldn't be such a phenomenon, unless dragon dust is originally a living creature from hell. Inside the palace, Su Lanxin still can't figure out how Long Chen did it. Not only she, but also Jiang Huixin and Yu Xiaoyun can't figure it out. There are too many secrets about this boy. I don't like him. I don't want my daughter to follow such a man. Yu Xiaoyun said. But I like Long Chen very much. But Jiang Huixin said with a smile. But Yu Xiaoyun couldn't help being angry. Because Long Chen is more mature than you, he knows how to make people happy. Don't you know how happy Qing Xian is after Long Chen comes? Jiang Huixin said with a smile. I'm too mature to understand any etiquette. I'm so bad-tempered. Qing Xian will be angry with him. Yu Xiaoyun hummed coldly. That's not necessarily true. Although Long Chen has a bad temper, he has to be with whom? I think he has a good temper with us. He is more obedient to Qing Xian. He doesn't like some people. When he comes up with a bad temper, he doesn't distinguish between the enemy and ourselves. Su Lan's mind has its own way. Are you two? Was it just because of 2 bottles of wine that they were bribed? Yu Xiaoyun very angry tunnel. 2 people always help Long Chen speak, let him very uncomfortable. Yu Xiaoyun as like as 2 peas. Yu Lanzin's sister made a joke. You're in a hurry. You're just like the young man. You didn't change a bit. I like Long Chen not because Qing Xian has spoken for him, not because of Long Chen's talent and aura, and not because of the wine in your mouth. But Long Chen, the child, is full of love for the world. From his eyes, we can see the shocking pain. But deep in his eyes, still full of sunshine, even if the world hurt him countless times, but he still loves the world. When we were young, we couldn't do that. We were rebellious, arrogant, and tyrannical. We hated the world and the world. The world has given us endless pain, our hearts are full of resentment, but also for once missed things and regret. Although we don't admit it on the surface, we can't stand the torture of the small dark room. We can cheat others, but we can't cheat ourselves. Long Chen can sleep soundly in the small dark room, which has proved that he is extremely pure in heart and is not afraid of the erosion of any negative emotions. The reason why he can sleep may be related to the devil. Who knows what he did during that time? Yu Xiaoyun still has a tough mouth. But anyway, Long Chen is much better than us at that time. You can't take personal feelings to see everything. It's biased. Jiang Xindao. But this boy, I just don't like it. It's like this guy was my enemy in my previous life. Yu Xiaoyun shook his head. Of course, it's the enemy, otherwise how can you rob your precious daughter? Su Lanxin said with a smile. Xiaoyun, time is running out. Let's all be happy and relax. Jiang Huixin suddenly appeared a touch of sadness on her face and sighed. As soon as Jiang Huixin's words came out, Yu Xiaoyun and Su Lanxin stopped talking, with a touch of sadness on their faces. Long Chen, why are you suddenly interested in coming to the royal training ground? I thought you'd always run away and don't want to show any of your strength. In a luxurious open-air training field, Yu Qinxue can't help looking at Longchen Road. Only princes and daughters and people with special nameplates can enter this training ground. This is the most advanced training ground of the whole Rosefinch Empire. Even princes and daughters need to spend money to enter here, but here, they can enjoy the most sophisticated tests and the most powerful trials. It's said that you have instruments to test power. I want to have a try. A smile appeared at the corner of Longchen's mouth, trying to see how far he was behind, and how much he could reach the minimum standard that the dragon strongman said. Oh, is this the dragon dust that the toad wants to eat swan meat? Just then, an arrogant and provocative voice came. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3973. As the voice fell, a group of strong men with big bodies and gorgeous costumes came. It's the prince's people. They come to find fault on purpose. It's not convenient for me to teach them a lesson here. You don't have so many taboos. As long as you are strong enough, you can repair him as you want. You don't have to give me face. Yu Qinxue whispered in Long Chen's ear. At this time, the more than 10 strong men came over. The leader was a whole head higher than Long Chen. His arms were thicker than ordinary people's thighs. Under his skin, he seemed to be covered with snakes, and his whole body was almost bursting with blood. When these people come to the front of Long Chen, they stop. The strong one at the head is a powerful bipolar supreme. His chi and blood are like flames, which makes people unable to breathe. At this time, he looks at Long Chen with a provocative face, and sneers at him and says coldly, "You want to marry the princess? Have you ever pissed to take care of your virtue? Are you worthy of it?" Long Chen laughs, looks at the big man and other strong men, shakes his head and says faintly, "I'm in a good mood today. I don't want to be in a bad mood. Besides, I have a bad temper. I advise you to get out of here. If a good man doesn't do it, he has to be a dog. Is that interesting? If Zhu Yunwen doesn't agree with me, let him come to me directly. What's the point of letting a few ghosts come for me?" Long Chen knows that he and the prince almost started to fight that day. The prince must bear a grudge in his heart. In order to please the prince, his men will naturally aim at Long Chen. "Boy, you'd better keep your mouth clean, or..." A strong man points at Long Chen and shouts. Poof! Before he finished speaking, his wrist was caught, his whole arm was abruptly torn off, blood donation spattered, and the man uttered a shrill scream. Everything happened so fast that everyone didn't react. The man's arm had already been in the hands of Long Chen. Looking for death, the strong man at the head was very angry and hit Long Chen with one punch. Because the distance was too close, he had no time to build up his strength and attacked with the power of the flesh god, but even so, the power of one punch was enough to make the situation change. The huge fist was caught by Long Chen's big hand, and the strong one was shocked. Long Chen's big hand, like a dragon claw, was embedded in his flesh and blood. The pain came from his heart. He kicked Long Chen's armpit fiercely without thinking about it. This was to force Long Chen to let go. But his foot just raised, the result whole person flew up, Long Chen big hand force, directly threw him up. Then in the eyes of people's horror, the big man with the roaring wind was severely fell on the ground. Boom! With a bang, the big man bumped into the earth solidly, and the green brick runes on the earth lit up, forming a strong defensive array. The huge force hit the green brick, but the green brick didn't explode. However, the big man's blood was gushing, and the sound of bone cracking was heard by everyone. "I make your mouth cheap." Dragon dust roars. Boom boom. Long Chen waved his hand and took the big man as a sandbag. He smashed the earth back and forth. Every time he smashed, the earth trembled and fell dozens of times. Yu Qinxue and Zhu Yifeng are silly. Long Chen's hand is too abrupt. They can't see any moves at all. It's totally different from the way they used to fight. The big man is one of the masters of the prince. Even if Yu Qinxue wants to defeat him, he needs at least 10 moves. But in front of Long Chen, The big man didn't even make a move, so he was caught by Longchen and smashed on the ground. When he smashed the first 3 times, the big man was still resisting, but when he smashed the 4th time, he finally couldn't hold on and was knocked to death. For the 5th time, because there was no aura to protect his whole body was broken, and the sharp pain made him wake up from a coma. Just after waking up, he was knocked unconscious. Boom boom. Longchen smashed 18 times in a row. Longchen didn't get rid of his hatred and wanted to continue smashing. He suddenly felt that his hand was light and only had a strong arm left in his hand, while the big man's body broke away from his arm and flew out. Bang! The big man bumped into a wall from a distance. His whole body was like mud, and his bones were broken to pieces. He stood there motionless and didn't know whether he was alive or dead. Longchen held 2 broken hands in his hands, just like a raging demon. His eyes were full of Morin's cold intention to kill. His fierce appearance made people shudder. Sin must be caused by the devil in his heart. Calm down, calm down. Longchen quickly throws his arm away and makes a confession. You fart. At this time, in the bronze tripod deep in Longchen's soul, there was a roar of the soul, which was the voice of the demons. Longchen himself tyrannical, but let him carry the pot, he was trapped in the bronze ding cannot come out, but to Longchen's shameless behavior. Longchen pretended that he couldn't hear the roar of the demons. He said, I'm not good-tempered. Don't provoke me, but you don't listen. Now you believe it. Longchen's temper comes and goes quickly. Just now, he looks like he's going to kill people. Now he's just like nobody. It seems that nothing has happened. This change makes Yu Qianxue and Zhu Yifeng dumbfounded. Yu, this is a sneak attack. This is a shameless sneak attack. See Longchen, a pair of breeze light cloud thin appearance, someone roars. Boom, the man just finished roaring, when suddenly a big mouth came over, and half of his face collapsed. Like a meteor, he hit a big man like mud. Ah! As a result, the man fainted, but the big man was knocked to come to life and screamed bitterly. At this time, the big man's bones were broken, his blood ran in disorder, rushing everywhere, just like hundreds of millions of frightened rabbits, running back and forth on his wound, which made him miserable. Cough, I'm sorry. I'm heavy-handed. I'll pay attention to it next time. In addition, I'll talk to you. Speak to me in a lower voice. I'm not deaf. In addition, don't point at people. It's very impolite. In addition, pay attention to the attitude and tone of speech. I'm not very good-tempered. If you can't talk to me, try not to talk to me. After all, life is precious. Life is not long. Why do you take a shortcut? Longchen said with a smile. Longchen's face is smiling, but it's more terrifying than his gloomy face. Longchen's hand is like a ghost, which is impossible to defend. They are scared back and forth. Only when they are far enough away can they have a certain sense of security. When these people retreated to a certain distance, someone picked up the muddy man and walked away. Just as they were about to leave the sight of Longchen, one of them pointed to Longchen and yelled at him. Wait for me. Before the man finished, a ray of thunder flashed through the man's mouth. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3974, Look at your pucker. I know how many dung balls you want to play with me. The mouth is cheap again, beat your excrement out, feed you to eat. Longchen has seen that the guy is dishonest for a long time. When he is ready for Thunder Sword, he is waiting for him to curse. As a result, the Thunder Sword went through the man's mouth and shattered his chin. The whole person was blackened by electricity and suddenly fainted. This group of people were so scared that they didn't dare to say a word anymore. They pulled up their injured companions and left. They were very angry when they came and very embarrassed when they went. I don't understand. Are you all children? Is it fun to play such a low-level provocative game? Isn't it good to practice well at that time? You are rich to waste your precious time on such things. I can't help looking at the tunnel. Yu Qianxue recovered from Longchen's cruel means and hummed coldly, Don't talk as old as you are. It's like how mature you are. There are many disputes in this world, and it's the same everywhere. Only constant struggle can reflect one's own value. Only constant competition can one know whether one is excellent or not. Life is a stage. If one does not know how to show oneself, one can only live a busy life. All my life, Long Chen said with a bitter smile, how I wish I could have a busy life. If you were a member of the royal family, you would have been sent to the army long ago. As a royal disciple, the inheritor of Jiuli blood, and the believer of Zhuke spirit, you can't say such unpromising words. Royal blood is the symbol of nobility. If we royal disciples don't work hard, how can we defend the country and the imperial people? Yuqian Snow Road. It's a good idea, but such a childish fight, hoping to teach the real strong? That's a big joke. The flowers in the greenhouse look prosperous. After a bitter frost, they are in a mess everywhere. None of them can stand up. Long Chen disdains the tunnel. Nonsense, are you disdaining my royal family? Yu Qianxue said angrily. Come on, I'm too lazy to tell you. You don't understand me. To tell you the truth, you are not bad. I can barely treat you as a friend. But I don't want you to take advantage of me, and I don't want to get involved in the fight between your princes and daughters, because if one can't be done well, your royal family will be bloody. After all, my purpose is to marry Qingxian. I don't want to get involved in your mess, so I can't get out of hand when I get there. Long Chen is serious. If it goes on like this, the dragon dust storm's temper will come up and kill several princes and daughters, and that will be the end. In that case, the marriage will not be successful, but the enemy. Dragon dust came to Zhuke Empire just to avoid the wind and live a peaceful life for a few days. It doesn't want to fight and kill all the time. But now, it seems that this trend will be involved in disputes again. Your words are so arrogant, let the royal blood flow into a river? Ha ha, Yu Qianxue sneered. Long Chen looks at Yu Qianxue and laughs. He doesn't say anything. Sometimes innocence is a kind of strength. He thinks innocence has no chance. When they saw the dragon dust, they could not help looking at it. But these people's eyes are either indifferent or with contempt, or with a trace of hostility. In short, few are friendly. The royal disciples are divided into different camps, and the royal family also has side branches. These disciples have basically formed a team to support their favorite princes and daughters. In fact, it is also a test for the royal disciples to see if their eyes are right. And the older generation of the royal family basically do not interfere in the disputes between the princes and daughters, let them develop. Yu Qianxue is proud and unsociable and doesn't know how to win people's hearts. Besides her strong strength, she has no other specialty. Therefore, Yu Qianxue does not have any royal disciples to support him except some of his bodyguards. He is not even as good as Zhu Yifeng. At least there are 2 royal disciples who are willing to support him and are very close to him. Yu Qianxue doesn't even have one. Long Chen, Zhu Yifeng and Yu Qianxue came to a gate. A special person checked their nameplates and made records. Then they opened the gate. When the gate is opened, an ancient and desolate atmosphere comes to us. This is a huge square on which all kinds of equipment are placed. This is a special place for testing physical strength and training strength. All kinds of equipment are carved with dragon-shaped patterns. The breath is very thick. They are all very ancient objects. This is the unique dragon power training ground of Zhuke Empire. This is the place for the most powerful practitioners to practice. The weight unit here is calculated by the power of the dragon. 1 dragon power is the greatest power of a dragon king. 1 dragon strength is equal to 300,000 jun, 1 jun is equal to 300,000 stone, and 1 stone is equal to 300,000 jin. The jin here is almost the same as that of the world. You are the ascender of the world. Should you have a general idea? Yuqian Snow Road. What concept? Do you want to ask me how many jin is Yilongli? Long Chen rolled his eyes. How is that special? It's estimated that Xia Chen and Guoran can figure it out immediately, but had better. The weight of Fairyland is more calculated by stone. The stone of Fairyland refers to the amethyst granite unique to Fairyland. Because of its high density and easy cutting, it is a common building stone. Moreover, its material is almost the same everywhere in Judianshidi. The amethyst granite with a square foot is just 300,000 jin. Dragon dust in the world, a jun is 300,000 jin, while in the fairyland, a jun is 300,000 stone. The unit of measurement has changed. One dragon's strength is equal to 300,000 jun, which can be converted into jin of ordinary boundary. There is no way to calculate it. The gap is too big. When the three of them arrived, hundreds of strong men had been training here. A strong man, holding a short stick about 10 feet long and the thickness of an egg, was walking on the horse. His thighs were shaking and his forehead was blue. It seemed that he was bearing a terrible weight, as if his body was going to be crushed. Big brother, the short stick in that man's hand is the weight of Yalongli and the smallest weight here. He can hold it in a horse stance for several breaths, which is very powerful. Anyway, I can't do it. The most I can do is to catch it for a breath. No matter how much time I have, my body can't bear it. The compressed qi and blood will tear my muscles and veins. If he can persist for so long, his greatest strength should be around Sanlongli, and his physical body is very powerful. Zhu Yifeng looked at the man with admiration. Long Chen looked at Yu Qianxue and said, "What's the limit of your strength?" Yu Qianxue said faintly, "I'm not good at flesh. I can only reach 10 dragon powers. I just don't know how many dragon powers you have. I'm looking forward to it." Although Yu Qianxue's words were calm, everyone could hear the pride in her tone. "I'm afraid that a woman can have 10 dragon strength is one of the few in the whole Rosefinch Empire. Elder brother, you haven't tested it. Let's try Lonely first. It's so heavy that you will get hurt if you are not careful." Zhu Yifeng is very kind-hearted. He is afraid that for the sake of face, Longchen will directly challenge Shilongli. On the contrary, he is injured and makes a fool of himself, leading Longchen to the front of Yalongli. Longchen pats Zhu Yifeng on the shoulder. It's not easy for him to grow up in a merciless environment and have a kind heart. Looking at the pole, a look of expectation appeared on Longchen's face. After so many years, he finally had a chance to test his strength and reached out to the pole slowly. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3975. When Long Chen reaches for the pole, Zhu Yifeng and Yu Qianxue jump wildly. Long Chen doesn't concentrate at all, and he doesn't sink his shoulders. His posture is like taking an egg. When they see Long Chen's action, the strong people on the scene stop training, and their mouths show a mocking color, quietly waiting for Long Chen to make a fool of himself. Because the people here have made a fool of themselves when they first came here, and even many people thought they were injured and vomited blood because they used the wrong force. They are very happy to see Long Chen make a joke. When Long Chen's hand holds the pole vibrates slightly, and Long Chen's face changes slightly. Ha ha ha. When Long Chen's face changed, the strong people on the scene laughed. I really don't know the heaven and the earth. There are so many ignorant people now. Haha, the ignorant are fearless. But just as they were ridiculing, all of them suddenly shut up, and the contempt on their faces suddenly turned into consternation, and then into horror. The weight of the terrible pole unexpectedly was dragon dust gently picked up. Not only these people, even Yu Qianxue also surprised jade hand-covered cherry lips. Zhu Yifeng's eyes are going to protrude. Long Chen not only picked up, but also threw the pole in his hand. When he saw this action, the strong people on the scene were going crazy. They couldn't believe their eyes. How could a pole be so heavy? That's a problem. Long Chen picked up the pole and weighed it. There was no joy on his face, but it was dignified. The so-called one dragon power is just the most basic strength of the ordinary dragon people when they are promoted to the Dragon King. And the basic strength of the Holy Dragon after being promoted to the Dragon King is the power of 10,000 dragons, and I forget it. No more. In short, you have to remember that if you want to change the 7-star battle body, you must have at least 3,000 dragon power. Only when you reach this strength can you withstand the impact of changing the 7-star battle body. Of course, the power of 3,000 dragons is the most basic. If you want to reduce the risk, the stronger the body, the better. The power of 3,000 dragons is a bottom line. If it is lower than this bottom line, you must not try. It will really kill you. At this time, the strong voice of the dragon came. The power of 10,000 dragons? The pole in Long Chen's hand almost fell to the ground. What kind of existence is the sacred dragon? Bang bang. The heart beats wildly, but it's not Long Chen's, but everyone's. Their heartbeat rises and falls with Long Chen's pole. Big brother, big brother. Seeing Long Chen balancing the pole, he was shocked and seemed to be lost in meditation. After a long time, Zhu Yifeng could not help but wake him up. Dragon, does this just return to God's son? He just noticed at this time, all people are gaping at him. Long Chen said, "It seems that I overestimate myself. If this pole is Yilongli, I'm afraid I can't meet the requirements." Long Chen looked at the hand-carved patterns of the pole, cannot help but sigh. The weight of the pole, for him, is a blow. "Brother, no boss, are you really not tired when you hold it like this? Or is there something wrong with this pole?" "Oh, I'll try." Boom. The pole hit the ground hard, the ground cracked, and the whole field shook, which proved that there was no problem with the pole. "Brother, to try. I didn't let you lose it." Zhu Yifeng's face turned green with fright. Long Chen threw the pole to him, and he didn't dare to take it. "Sorry, I didn't mean to." Long Chen stretched out his hand from the ground crack, buckled the pole out, and put it in the original position. Yu Qinxue had already reached out to press the button on the platform. It was an array switch. If you press it, the array will open, and the pole will be returned to its original position. You know, there are many mistakes when you fall on the ground. The array here can repair the ground and return the pole to the platform. Usually, the pole falls to the ground. Because of the small force area, it's impossible to take it back. But it's really frightening to buckle the pole like Long Chen. People look at Long Chen as if they are looking at monsters. At the same time, they are shocked and full of admiration. The previous irony and contempt have long disappeared. After all, the strong, no matter where they are respected by people. They all surround them, and their eyes are full of awe. "You are so strong, elder martial brother. How about challenging the limit? Let's help you adjust the weight." One suggested. Long Chen is too strong. Long Li is nothing in front of him. All of a sudden, they are interested. So Long Chen came to the longest pole. The pole was 1 foot from the ground. He could only pull it up by hard pulling. Rise. Long Chen stops drinking, and in the eyes of countless people, the long pole rises from the ground. The power of 100 dragons. My God, what do I see? The strong people on the scene are completely stupid. They can't believe their eyes. Double, start, double, 100 more. Boom! There was a loud bang, and the whole field trembled. When the long pole full of dense dragon patterns fell to the ground, the platform was directly smashed and exploded, and a big pit appeared in the earth. This time, Long Chen was sweating and panting, and could no longer pull the pole out of the ground. 537 The power of the dragon. The strong man in the scene has been completely stunned. The ultimate strength of Long Chen is 537 lonely. You know, in the fairyland, the highest record is 287, and it's also the record of the peak state of the fairyland. And Long Chen just entered the fairyland and broke the record, almost double the original record. Is this still human? No, even the orcs don't have such strong power. You know, the 287 record of dragon power was left by a strong orc, and the record of a strong Terran was 93. Everyone looks at Long Chen in shock, but Long Chen looks at the pole with a gloomy face. 537 is too far away from the power of 3,000 dragons. Is he really so weak? Absorbed the blood essence of Zulong, the power of Long Chen is superior to that of the same level. Even Kuntu, who has reached the ultimate strength, is also the loser of his subordinates. However, even so, it is still too far from the standard of the dragon strongman, let alone compared with the dragon strongman himself. This time, it is a big blow to him. Don't lose heart. You are not a dragon. When my dragon blood comes to you, there will be a certain loss. This is very normal. At first, I thought that your foundation should be around 300 dragon power, but now it seems that it is much better than I expected. Once again, The voice of the dragon strongman came with a touch of surprise and comfort. "Master, you don't mean to comfort me, do you?" Long Chen said with a bitter smile that he felt that he had wasted the super essence and blood of the strong dragon people. "I, the dragon clan, really can't comfort the weak. I'm not kidding. Long Chen, you have such a strong foundation that I have a new idea. Are you willing to take risks? Let's take a big bet?" The voice of the dragon strongman became serious. Long Chen's heart is jumping wildly. It seems that he smells the smell of good things. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3976, Master, what can I do for you? Long Chen is ecstatic. He knows that something good is coming. It's not necessarily a good thing. It's a blessing or a curse. No one can tell clearly. My dragon blood fits your body perfectly. Now your physical body is completely beyond the limit of the human race and has reached another level. And through your performance just now, I found that my blood essence has mutated in your body, forming a new seed, glowing with infinite vitality. If there is a possibility that the mutated dragon blood will wake up again, your physical strength may reach an unprecedented extreme, even surpass me. Dragon strong careful tunnel, a sentence with two if, obviously it is not much sure. More than you? Beyond the power of dragons? Is that possible? Long Chen's voice trembled. I don't dare to give you a definite answer. I can only tell you that there are possibilities, but there are great risks. Once we set foot on this road, we can never go back. In addition, if you succeed in this path, you may compete with your 9-star body Jew. However, no matter who is in charge or who is in charge, the road ahead is broken. You need to continue it yourself. In other words, in the future, you not only need to continue to take the road of 9-star hegemony, but also need to add a road of equal difficulty. In that case, your future road will be even more difficult. The dragon people are strong. If you have any good suggestions, let's hear them first. Long Chen wrote, I once created a set of body refining skills. This set of body refining skills is also my strongest skill, which is enough to look down on the ancestors of the past dynasties. But I don't know why. I pass it on to my descendants, and they can't inherit it. Finally, the dragon strongman sighed. What happened in the end? Long Chen asks in a hurry. In the end, my posterity couldn't even get started and died. Over the years, tens of millions of posterity with excellent talent have died on this skill. Later, I simply stopped teaching the skill. For nearly 10 million years, I have been reflecting on it. Maybe this skill attracts envy from heaven, so it has to start from me and end from me. It can't be passed on. But today, to see your potential and variation of dragon blood, let my heart began to become ready to move. But this idea is very dangerous, very dangerous. I don't know if it will hurt you, and eventually you will fall. The voice of the dragon strongman is full of complexity. It's hard for outsiders to understand that feeling of worrying about gain and loss. As a peerless strong man, he has peerless magic power, but this peerless magic power cannot be inherited. This helplessness is a kind of extreme pain. Since he became acquainted with Long Chen, he helped Long Chen through various difficulties several times, taught the unique skills of the dragon people, and gave his blood essence to Long Chen. In fact, to some extent, Long Chen has been regarded as its descendant. But this move, it hesitated, do not know whether it will kill Long Chen. After all, tens of millions of dragon Tianjiao died in this move. He was a little afraid. Hey, don't worry, elder. As far as I'm concerned, I'm burning my eyebrows. I'll take care of the present. As for the future, I don't care. Just pass on the trick to me. Can you try it first and then try it again, but it doesn't matter? Long Chen has made his old mistakes again. Whether it's a magic treasure or a powerful skill, it's a fatal temptation to him. In particular, the strong dragon people are so cautious, and the dragon dust can't help it anymore. It must be an earth-shaking skill. In fact, this skill is another kind of dragon blood body forging technique. The principle is the same, but its name is Dragon God Body Refining Technique. Dragon blood body forging is based on the essence and blood of the dragon, while dragon spirit body refining is based on the spirit, soul, mind, will, blood, chi and bone, which covers a wider range and has higher requirements for the whole. However, there is a big difference between forging and refining. Forging is like forging iron, forging constantly to increase its strength. However, there are 7 kinds of foundations for physical training, which must be balanced and form a mysterious connection with each other. This kind of connection cannot be transmitted by words or explained by figures. None of my descendants who practiced Dragon God's physical training died. I often reflect on whether I taught them well or did they learn wrong. Later, I understood that there were 2. I was eager to pass on the supernatural powers. When I explained them in detail, I was afraid that they would not understand them and would not be tired of repeating them. Later, I realized that the simpler the explanation, the more confused, the more slender, the more fuzzy. But my descendants, when practicing my dragon spirit body refining skill, always can't get rid of the inherent thinking and cultivation way of the dragon people. The dragon body refining skill that I created is on the surface the supernatural power of the dragon people, but it is different from the supernatural power of the dragon people. But the specific differences I thought for countless years, cannot think of it, ridiculous is, I as the founder of Dragon God Body Refining, but only know it, but do not know why the strong dragon side. It's a very funny thing that I can't understand my amazing skill. The road is invisible. It gives birth to heaven and earth. The road is merciless. It runs the sun and the moon. The road is nameless. It nourishes all things. No one can say anything about it. We humans like to use the word Tao to cover the relationship between everything in the world, but the word Tao cannot be clearly interpreted. The road has no words, no territory and no boundary. Therefore, it is specious and paradoxical. As for whether it is right or wrong, there are only different opinions. Longchen Road. The dragon strongman said, "What you said is very reasonable. Although you didn't reach that level, many things are very close. As for savvy, the Terran is really at the top of all souls, and the dragon is far behind. So, I hesitated again and again, and decided to teach you the magic dragon body refining technique. If you can really learn this set of magic dragon body refining technique and pass it on, I will be able to close my eyes even if I die." Later, the strong voice of the dragon clan was a little excited. It was even more excited than Longchen and expected. "I don't have a formula for this set of skills. I can only teach you how to run the energy in it." With these words, the dragon strongman taught Longchen a set of energy conversion between God, soul, mind, will, blood, chi and bone. Even with Longchen's savvy, he was dumbfounded and didn't understand. Can this thing be called a skill? Whether you understand it or not, you can study it yourself. The more I teach you, the narrower your road will be. I can't make the same mistake again. The dragon people are strong. Longchen's face was muddled. The strong of the dragon clan only gave him an introduction, but it was still a very vague introduction. He didn't know the principle of the dragon god's body refining technique. No 7-star battle? 7 kinds of energy? Am I? Dragon Dust suddenly jumped up, as if to see an unprecedented world, his mind endless lightning flashing, an unknown door is slowly opening to him. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3977. What? 537 lonely? Are you sure the message is correct? Yu Xiaoyun looked at the 2 queens, his eyes full of shock. There's absolutely no mistake. Brother Xiaoyun, you're known as a natural god, and you're blessed with Rosefinch. I remember when you first entered the fairyland, you only had 327. I can't imagine that the boy, Longchen, looks weak on the surface, but has such terrible power. Su Lan's face was also full of shock. No, even if he has real dragon essence and blood in his body, he is human after all. How can he have such strong power? Yu Xiaoyun still can't believe it. You know, he is gifted and has amazing power since he was a child. However, his power is the secret of the Rosefinch Empire. Except for himself, only 2 queens know about it. When Yu Xiaoyun was born, the sky came down with a vision, and a rosefinch god flashed. When he was born, he carried a rosefinch rune on his back, known as the reincarnation of the son of Rosefinch. Therefore, his physical terror to the extreme, but as the secret weapon of Rosefinch Empire, his power is unknown. But the strength of Long Chen now surpasses that of him at that time, which makes him shocked. At the same time, some people can't believe it, because he has never met anyone in his life who can surpass him in strength. Not only more than him, but also more than 110 lonely, which is simply appalling. I'm afraid the youngest dean in the history of Lingxiao Academy is stronger than we thought. The child knows how to hide, Jiang Huixin said with a smile that even she was full of curiosity about Longchen. Well, even if the strength exceeds that of me at that time, what can I do? Strength is not my best talent, seeing that both Jiang Huixin and Su Lanxin praise Longchen. Yu Xiaoyun is not happy. Jiang Huixin and Su Lanxin look at the angry Yu Xiaoyun. They look at each other and laugh. 537 lonely? Absolutely impossible? This is pure nonsense. This must be a gimmick made by Snow Princess Qian on purpose. Fairyland, let alone the Terran, even the dragon, can't have such power. When Longchen had 537 dragon power, breaking the power record of the Suzaku Empire in Fairyland, the news poured into the practitioners of the whole Suzaku Empire. After hearing this news, almost everyone's first reaction was deceptive. It must be that the array failed and there was a calculation error. When countless powerful people question the truth of the news and send people out to verify it, Long Chen and Yu Qianxue have returned to the princess mansion. Zhu Yifeng is full of worship for Long Chen. He always follows Long Chen and doesn't even return home. He directly depends on the princess mansion, just like a little follower of Long Chen. This time, when Long Chen returns to Princess Mansion, Yu Qianxi's guards are full of awe for Long Chen and dare not show any disrespect to Long Chen. After returning to the prince's house, Long Chen directly chose to shut up. On his way back, he had been studying the dragon god's body refining technique in his mind. This skill is too general. It should be the original idea of the dragon ancestors at the beginning of their cultivation. However, if we refine it, it will easily lead to deviation, mislead others, and lead people astray. God, soul, mind, will, blood, qi, and bone are 7 kinds of energy. The first 4 belong to spiritual power. God, soul, and will are easy to understand, but how can qi feel so strange? God is the original God and soul is the soul. Shouldn't will be regarded as an attribute? Why separate them? Or does the will of the dragon represent 2 meanings? Is meaning an idea? Will is will? Is that right? Since it's the dragon's magic power, it must be based on the dragon's energy. I only have dragon blood, so I can only start from dragon blood. After Long Chen determined the general route, he directly entered the cultivation state. Boom! The dragon blood in the dragon dust roars, the dragon blood is ignited, the golden flame envelopes the dragon dust, the dragon blood burns, and the dragon dust has no feeling. But when the dragon's blood was used as a guide and the aura was burning, the dragon dust burst out with a mouthful of blood, and his body almost burst open. Are you a pig? How can you burn all auras at the same time? What's the difference between this and suicide? The strong of the dragon people hate iron but not steel. Oh, I'm careless. Burning essence and blood is very simple for Longchen, so Longchen doesn't care about burning aura, but Longchen forgets that this time burning aura is not burning alone, but burning aura with the fire of Longxue, which almost detonates his body directly. After a failure, Longchen divided the aura in his body into several hundred parts, trying to ignite only one part. Sure enough, it became much simpler. Dragon blood and aura burned together. Longchen found that there was a little golden glow in the milky aura, and his aura began to be stained with the breath of the dragon. After finding the method, everything becomes much easier. It takes only half an hour for Longchen to ignite all the auras, and then remove the seal to let the burning aura flow in the body. Qi and blood melt together. Now the dragon dust even has changed its breath. The whole person has a kind of holy brilliance, which is noble and inviolable. Ah! All of a sudden, Longchen screams. When Longchen uses the fire of qi and blood to light the hand bone, Longchen's bone seems to be scalded by countless irons, and golden spots appear on the white bone. The golden spots begin to corrode the bones of Longchen. The golden spots are dragon-shaped runes. These runes attach to the bones of Longchen and inject the golden energy into the bones of Longchen. However, this process is extremely painful. With Longchen's endurance, his face is deformed and his forehead looks very frightening. You don't have to be in such a hurry. You can do it piece by piece. The strong dragon advised. There's no need. It hasn't hurt so much for a long time. Let's have a good time then. Longchen is biting his teeth. Boom! All of a sudden, Longchen's whole body trembles violently. The golden flame covers his bones. Hundreds of millions of dragon-shaped runes are imprinted on the bones. Longchen gives a roar. In the roar, even his teeth are covered with golden radiance. Are you hurting yourself? The dragon people are shocked. No one knows the pain of bone refining better than it. Let alone a human race, even the pride of the dragon people will directly hurt to death. Ho ho! At this time, Longchen's eyes bulged with pain, his whole body twitched, and his throat roared with wild animals, but he could not say a word. Longchen's eyes were red, but he never gave up. In this violent way, he directly branded his whole body. Until an hour later, Longchen's convulsions disappeared, and his sweat had wet the whole ground. Longchen's face was pale, and he almost collapsed. After a short rest, Longchen looks inside and finds that all the bones on his body have turned into gold. There are countless lines on the bones. These lines seem to be unique veins on the bones, and there are golden dragon runes flowing inside. Hey, now I'm strong and strong. Longchen felt the strength of the bones and couldn't help feeling excited. He felt that his bones, with these runic blessings, were stronger than the realm artifact. I understand. At this time, the dragon strongman cried out excitedly, and his voice trembled. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3978, Master, what do you understand? Longchen asked. Longchen, why do you want to hurt yourself like this? The dragon strongman responded excitedly. I'm not self-injurious. I'm in the stage of dragon blood training, which should be the simplest and easiest part. According to my plan, first complete the body refining part of blood refining, qi refining and bone refining, then go to refining mind, soul refining, God refining, and finally ambition refining. Don't ask me why I arranged this. I don't know. Anyway, I think it should be a process from shallow to deep, from easy to difficult. I want to finish the bone refining at one time in order to adapt to the pain brought about by refining God in the future, otherwise I will not be able to hold on and I will probably be useless. Longchen replied. Is it providence? Longchen, do you know that the meridians of the divine bone formed by your bone refining are the key to the cultivation of Longchen's body refining skill? When the last step of the fusion and explosion of the energy in my body was not completed, the energy of the dragon family was not generated. When the meridians on your bones appear, I understand that in this step, we must carry out comprehensive bone refining, but not in batches. Oh, I'm such a fool. Why didn't I expect to kill so many excellent children in vain? The strong dragon people are deeply remorseful. Under the collision of the dragon dust, the Shingu meridians gather together. The Shingu meridians are like the branches, leaves, stems and roots of a big tree. They must be complete. However, the dragon strongmen have practiced the dragon god's body refining technique by themselves, but they don't know its process. They teach it according to their own understanding. Because the pain of bone refining can't be resisted at all, they can only do it one by one. When all the bones are refined into divine bones, it's like countless jigsaw puzzles put together. On the surface, there is no flaw, but in fact, there is no real vein between these bones. Even if there is a vein, it is also a false vein. There is no real communication between them. When we come to the last step, it will collapse. When we see the natural vein formed by the dragon dust, it is the natural channel formed between the bones when the whole body is refining the bone. When the dragon dust is refining the bone, the strength cannot be even. In this way, the interaction between the bones is needed, and all the strength is shared equally. When it is shared equally, the transportation channel is formed. And this transportation channel is a natural vein. When you see these veins, the dragon strongmen are remorseful and constantly scold themselves. Long Chen himself has been deceived. He can't understand the meaning of the dragon strongmen, but he generally knows that he seems to have taken the right step. Is it true that my route is basically right? Long Chen asked. The most difficult thing to solve in the past few years is that you can't solve it by mistake. But after the exercise, you need to rest for a period of time to consolidate your strength. Don't be greedy and rash, and you can't fool around anymore. It's enough to fool around once. The dragon people are strong. Hey, okay. As soon as Long Chen hears the tone of the dragon strongman, that is to say, in the future, the dragon strongman will instruct him. He doesn't have to grope for it by himself, so it's much easier. When the bone refining is completed, in addition to the golden dragon's blood, the aura and bone of Long Chen become golden. The combination of the three brings endless power to Long Chen. Long Chen obviously feels that his power has soared a lot. Just a few hours after Zhu Yichen came out of the restroom, he saw two people waiting for him. You figured it out. A little later, he'll knock on the door to call you. Yuqian Snow Road. What's up? Long Chen asked. The state banquet is about to begin. Your Majesty has made an order to ask you to join us. Please change your clothes and join us in the state banquet. Yu Qinshue said and handed him a suit of gorgeous clothes, which was the standard style of princes. Long Chen Alung, this is the identity that gives him prince daughter? Has the stubborn father-in-law changed his mind? It's a little too sudden, isn't it? I won't change my clothes. I only wear this black robe. Long Chen shakes his head and says that he can't get used to other colors. Moreover, he only wears clothes woven by her confidant. The royal family attaches great importance to etiquette. On such occasions you are. Yu Qinshue frowned. Long Chen's clothes were a little shabby. Although the fabric was good, it obviously didn't match the level of state banquet. If you insist on changing clothes, I won't go. Thank your Majesty for helping me. Long Chen shook his head. Yu Qinshue is speechless. It's a great grace to invite Long Chen, a person with a different surname, to attend the state banquet. Long Chen refuses for a suit of clothes. Don't blame me if I don't go through the gate. Yuqian Snow Road. Brother, change it. I'll tell you, once I was upset by those annoying guys because the class pattern I was going to bring was upside down. If you do this, it's like being sent up and made difficult by others. Zhu Yifeng earnestly advised. This dress has a special meaning to me. It's okay. I haven't seen any scenes in my life. It's not once or twice that I've been made difficult. Let him go. Long Chen said with a smile. Yu Qinshue has no choice but to let him. She thinks she is stubborn enough, but compared with Long Chen, she still feels too docile. Long Chen, do you have any friends? On the road, Yu Qinshue couldn't help asking. Yes, and there are many more. Long Chen rode. You have a bad temper, and you have friends? Is it unreasonable? Why don't I have one? Yuqian Snow Road. That may indicate that your temper is not bad enough. Just stink a little more, so that people with similar tastes will come to you. Long Chen laughs. Yu Qinshue stares at Long Chen and says, I tell you, there are many rules at the state banquet. Don't talk about it disorderly. Don't disturb me at that time. Many rules. Long Chen Alung immediately felt what his temper is famous stink, who face also don't give. Why does the emperor want him to attend this kind of occasion? Did you mean to punish him? When the time comes, find a chance to turn around and wipe out all his efforts. No, if he really wants to do this, he should have his trump card at the end. It's too early at this time. For a time, Long Chen didn't know what medicine was sold in the emperor's gourd. While he was thinking about it, Under the escort of a group of guards, they had arrived at the gate of the emperor. Stop. Just arriving at the city gate, he was stopped by a group of people. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3979. What Long Chen didn't expect is that it was an acquaintance who stopped them. He was the white fat Hanlin bachelor who had been hurt by Long Chen. This white and fat Hanlin bachelor was wearing a scholar's long shirt with gold lace, and the scholar's hat was very decent, which was quite interesting. Including by Pang, there are 6 academicians on the scene, who are responsible for registration, hand gifts, number-matching seats and so on. The state banquet is a grand banquet of the Zhuge Empire, and the details need to be meticulous. The Hanlin scholars register in person, on the one hand, to show the importance of the state banquet, on the other hand, to show the respect for literature. The clerical student is in charge of the martial arts practitioners, which is also a kind of restriction on the etiquette system, and checks the appearance of the guests. You're doing well? Don't say, it's really a bit of a dog in this suit. When Long Chen saw the white fat Hanlin scholar and saw the light in his eyes, he knew that the boy was going to do something bad, but Long Chen didn't care and was the first to attack. How can you speak foul words before the emperor's gate? Come on, get rid of this man. The white fat Hanlin said. With his call, suddenly more than a dozen soldiers, holding golden spears, went to Long Chen. They really wanted to drive Long Chen away. Wait a minute, this is Long Chen. His Majesty invited him to the state banquet. Who dares to be rude? Yukiangsu Cold Tunnel. The white fat academician was shocked. He thought that Long Chen was just the guard of Yu Qianxue. According to the imperial rules, the prince and the daughter had 2 opportunities every year to lead an excellent guard to the state banquet to show their respect for talents. Bai Pang wanted to make Long Chen difficult, to get rid of his qualification, to revenge the humiliation of Long Chen. It's just that he didn't expect that Long Chen didn't come as a guard, but His Majesty asked him to come by name. Now he kicked the iron board. Long Chen did not speak, holding his arm and looking at the white fat Hanlin bachelor. Just like looking at a twittering clown, the white fat Hanlin bachelor's face turned into a pig liver color. Since it's Your Majesty's order, please come to register and receive the gift. Don't delay. Another tall and thin Hanlin bachelor coldly tunnel, obviously to the white fat man to break through. Why not wear national dress? When we want to register the dragon dust, the academician is cold. I'd love to. Long Chen's answer is simple and clear. You. The academician was very angry and wanted to scold Long Chen, but he was held by another man. The man winked at him continuously, but the man reluctantly resisted, and finally gave Long Chen a hand gift. After Long Chen left, the tall and thin bachelor couldn't help saying, "Brother Liang, why did you stop me?" His clothes, even if His Majesty approves, I have a way to make things difficult for him, so as to take a breath for us. This guy is too arrogant. Yes, Brother Liang, why did you let him go? That white fat Hanlin bachelor also has some dissatisfaction. Hey, let it go? Can I let him go? Is that possible? If you think about it, Master will attend the state banquet later. At that time, he. The academician said with a smile. At this time, a few people suddenly realized, really high, at the state banquet, this master can criticize this arrogant bastard. Haha. 6 people look at each other, can't help laughing as if already saw the dragon dust in public, lose face, shameless appearance. What's the point of laughing in front of the palace? Just as they laughed, they were caught by an old man. They were so scared that they quickly restrained their expressions and continued to work. The 6 people's laughter, Long Chen heard clearly, but Long Chen didn't bother with them. Elder brother, you'd better change your clothes. The master has a black face and a black mouth, and he has a high position. Even his father and emperor can't do anything to him. Don't give him the handle. Zhu Yifeng earnestly advised that he always took the dress with him. No, that master is black in face and black in mouth. What's the matter? Even he's afraid of me? If you don't agree, do it. Who is afraid of whom? Long Chen shakes his head and says, now that his demons are suppressed, he can release himself to his heart's content. He doesn't have to be careful anymore. After the suppression of the demons, Longchen became energetic, confident, hopeful for the future, and more sensitive. When practicing the dragon god's body refining technique, Longchen's intuition told him that he must comprehensively refine his bones. Then, the strong people of the dragon family said that he had gone right and had no demons. It seemed that he was back to the time when he left Fengming Empire and went through the desert alone to Xintianbian. At that time, Longchen was not worth mentioning to him now, but he was very confident at that time. He didn't care about any difficulties and didn't know any danger. No matter what happened in the future, Longchen always believed that he could handle it. Later, as Longchen's accomplishments become higher and higher, and his strength becomes stronger and stronger, he finds that his confidence becomes weaker and weaker, and he is always looking forward to what he does, worrying about gains and losses. Lacking the courage to march forward when he was young, and having sealed his heart, Longchen found that the so-called maturity is actually the pronoun of timidity. Everything should be well thought out and determined. He does not want to fail but is actually afraid of failure. At that time, Longchen was not afraid even if he failed. He always felt that even if he failed, he could try to recover again. He was so confident. I don't want to do anything in the future. When you enter the palace, there are many people. Many palace maids come and go. They seem very busy, but everyone is silent. In the lively atmosphere, there is a trace of depression. So grand? Is it a family without food? Do you need to be so serious? Longchen has some helplessness. Shu, brother, speak in a lower voice. A state banquet is not a banquet for us princes and princesses, nor is it a banquet for princes and ministers. It's a state banquet only when a foreign mission comes. We haven't got any news before, but looking at the scale, I'm afraid more than one delegation has come. Zhu Yifeng whispered. Foreign missions? Longchen is tiny alung, call oneself to come, have something to do with the mission? Big brother, can you do me a favor? Suddenly, Zhu Yifeng was embarrassed. Let's go. Yu Qinxue seems to know what Zhu Yifeng is going to say, so she simply agrees. Zhu Yifeng was overjoyed. He took them to the palace and came to a palace. Just pushed open the door, a fierce sword chi instantly shrouded 3 people. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3980. The sword is fierce, and the strong waves are so strong that people can't breathe well. Longchen is startled, just about to fight back. Suddenly Yu Qiangshi's jade hand grabs his arm and takes him back. Just watch it. Yuqian's Snow Road. Dang, Zhu Yifeng reacted very quickly. Holding a long knife, he slashed it fiercely with a bang, and sparks splashed. Then, like a rolling gourd, he was shocked out of the gate. Adversity, son, your progress is too slow. Look at the sword. A cold drink came, a woman holding a golden sword, with a gust of wind, to kill Zhu Yifeng. What's the situation? Longchen was stunned. What else can it be? I hate iron but not steel. This guy is lazy all the time. He doesn't want to bear hardships. He can't give a satisfactory answer. It's strange if he doesn't clean up. Yu Qianxue is very calm, looking at Zhu Yifeng was killed, but a face of indifference, a strange appearance. Longchen suddenly understand, no wonder Zhu Yifeng want him and Yu Qianxue to accompany him. Emotion is to give him courage at the same time for a while to intercede for him. Zhu Yifeng's mother, waving a long sword and fighting fiercely, greets Zhu Yifeng. Zhu Yifeng is forced to scream. She can only fight back but not fight back. Longchen can't help sighing. The sword in my mother's hand is cleaved on the wanderer's body. It takes a small life to move. The sword is a critical strike. Shut up. Zhu Yifeng's mother suddenly yelled, followed by a scream, and was shocked by the sword. When she looked at Zhu Yifeng, there were dozens of wounds on her body. Although there was blood spilling, it was obvious that she had been lenient. But despite the mercy, the whole body wound bleeding, dyed red robes, looks very scary. Zhu Yifeng stood up and didn't dare to say a word. He seemed very afraid of his mother. He bowed his head and didn't dare to look at her. He's my own child. I'll discipline him as I want. You need to be talkative? Zhu Yifeng's mother, coldly looking at the dragon dust road. Zhu Yifeng's mother looks like she's in her 30s. She's all dressed up. She looks very brave. She's a woman. Don't say it's natural. You can't fight like that in the wild. Just because you have given him life doesn't mean that you have the right to control his destiny. Longchen has some helplessness. Who are you? Zhu Yifeng's mother looks up and down at Longchen and finds that Longchen is a strange face. He is the big brother I know. My big brother is very powerful. With him covering me, I don't have to worry about anyone bullying me. Zhu Yifeng finally summoned up the courage to hide behind the dragon dust, as if he had found a backer. Big brother? You are such a great prince that you recognize your elder brother outside. Are you really promising? Zhu Yifeng's mother was furious. Zhu Yifeng, Nyang. Don't call me mother. Zhu Yifeng's mother said angrily. Then you can call it elder sister. Longchen's speechless tunnel. Zhu Yifeng, elder sister. I'll kill you, little bastard. Zhu Yifeng's mother didn't expect that Zhu Yifeng really dared to call her that. She was so angry that she wanted to beat her. Master, why are you doing this? Longchen quickly stops him. He can't watch Zhu Yifeng being beaten. After all, he is also his brother-in-law. But he refused to practice well and wasted his time. If you look at other people's thousands of snow, how diligent and hardworking they are, and if you look at you again, you are just a loser. Zhu Yifeng's mother. You can't just blame Yifeng for this. It may be genetic. Longchen said with a smile. Do you mean your majesty is not strong enough? Zhu Yifeng's mother is very cold. Or maybe it's up to you. Longchen said with a smile. You. Don't be so serious. I'm just joking. Maybe Yifeng is a late bloomer. No one can see the future. Maybe Yifeng will grow up suddenly in the future? Longchen said with a smile. That is, I'm weak now, maybe because my chance hasn't come yet. With the help of Longchen, Zhu Yifeng is bold. Is that your excuse for being lazy? Zhu Yifeng's mother said angrily. Yes, master, you need to calm down. Feng is right. The reason why a strong person can become a strong person is that there must be an opportunity to become a strong person. After all, you can't force him to die, but you can't force him to die. Everyone has his own chance and fortune. Everything goes with the chance and can't be forced. You complain that he is not willing to make progress and compare him with other excellent princes and daughters. Can he also compare you with the 2 queens or the strong one above heaven? If you are strong enough, does he need to practice hard? So, what can't we judge others from our own point of view? It's hard to say who's right and who's wrong because we pursue different goals. Longchen said with a smile. When Zhu Yifeng's mother was stunned, she didn't expect that Longchen could say such philosophical words. When you think about it carefully, she really has been forcing Zhu Yifeng. Although Zhu Yifeng is already excellent, he is the prince and must be better than others. This is the helpless of the imperial family. But calm down and think about it, Zhu Yifeng is not good enough. Is she good enough as a mother? Think of here, a cavity anger subsided a lot. To Zhu Yi Wei, come here. Zhu Yifeng was so scared that he thought his mother would deal with him, but he didn't dare to come over, so he had to step over. Seeing Zhu Yifeng's frightened appearance, she would be more annoyed if she had been in the past, but now she has a trace of remorse and says in a soft voice, Come on, my mother has prepared a new dress for you. It's made by my mother herself. From today on, Nyang won't force you anymore. You are Nyang's son, not the tool she uses to realize her dream and compare with others. In fact, in my mother's heart, you have always been the lifeblood of my mother. Don't hate my mother. As she talks, she puts on a new dress for Zhu Yifeng. Zhu Yifeng has never heard such gentle words in her life, and her tears burst out. Nyang the Zhu Yifeng's mother's eyes are full of excitement. Since Zhu Yifeng grew up, the gap between them has become bigger and bigger. Zhu Yifeng's fear of her is more than her love. Sound Nyang pulled the affection between their mother and son back again. Good boy, don't cry. We're going to the banquet soon. Hurry to tidy up your appearance. Don't make your father unhappy. Zhu Yifeng's mother wiped his tears, comforted him and helped him tidy up. Seeing the appearance of Zhu Yifeng's mother and son, Yu Qianxue was dazzled and seemed to fall into distant memories. Don't worry. Since Yifeng calls me elder brother, I won't treat him badly. He will grow up. Long Chen patted his chest and said. Zhu Yifeng's mother was about to speak when a bell rang. Let's go. The state banquet will begin soon. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3981. The State Banquet Hall, in a side hall beside the Rosefinch Hall, is still magnificent and luxurious, although it is a side hall. At the gate of the main hall, there are a row of beautiful gong, who are responsible for guiding. At the gate, Long Chen sees many figures in different costumes. How can there be so many foreign missions? Tianxi, Ziding, Dongyao, Yuming Good Guy, they are all unfriendly countries with our Rosefinch Empire. I'm afraid they're not good at it. Yu Qianxi's face changed when she saw these strong men. Tianxi and Ziding Longchen knew that as for other empires, Longchen had never heard of them. According to the rules of the empire, the mission was invited first, that is to say, the guests were allowed to enter first, and then it was their family's turn. I'm afraid that the 8,000 state banquet is not a good one. While waiting, Long Chen sees the great Prince Zhu Yunwen. He gives Long Chen a cold look and says nothing. However, from his eyes, Long Chen sees a deep fear. Obviously, the fact that Long Chen has 537 Longli has been passed into their ears. No one dares to underestimate Long Chen anymore. And I don't know if it's because of Long Chen that many royal disciples take the initiative to chat up with Yu Qianxue. Although they are not qualified to enter the hall, they have their seats outside the hall. When it's the prince's turn, Long Chen follows Yu Qianxue into the main hall. To Long Chen's surprise, the Zhuge Emperor Yu Shaoyun, the two queens and some concubines have arrived ahead of time. After Long Chen comes in, Jiang Huixin and Su Lanxin smile and nod slightly to Long Chen. They say hello. Dragon dust. As Long Chen just entered the hall, a gnashing voice came. Long Chen went along with his reputation, and a surprise appeared on his face. Wow, send money boy? In the 3000 world, you sent me Crazy Blade and Thunder Tower. Man, do you have any treasure this time? Are you ready to send me? That person is no other than Wang Tinglao of the Purple Thunder Empire. His Thunder Pagoda and Crazy Blade were confiscated by Lei Linger, which is the biggest shame of his life. As soon as Long Chen came up, he uncovered his scar, and Wang Tinyao's face was distorted. Hey, what are you doing? This is the banquet hall. Pay attention to the occasion. Look at your face. It's wrinkled like a crotch. What's the matter? Are you constipated? Seeing that Wang Tianwao was about to explode, Long Chen simply gave him a fire. Wang Tianwao was very angry. Just as he was about to speak, he was stopped by an old man beside him. Yao, don't be rude. The old man's face was clear, and his face was covered with old age spots. He looked no different from ordinary old people, but when his eyes opened and closed, there was thunderlight, and it seemed that there were countless stars in his eyes. The old age spots on his face are actually not ordinary spots, but endless runes. Although they look dark, they contain amazing power. This is a strong terrorist. From Wang Tianyao's respectful attitude towards the old man, we can see that the old man's identity is very unusual. However, no matter what the old man's identity is, Long Chen doesn't care about him, because he sees Yu Qingxian in the distance at a glance. The tables in the main hall are rectangular, 4 feet long, and they sit together. In front of the main hall are the seats of the emperor and the concubines, and in front of the seats of the concubines are the seats of the princes and the daughters. Yu Qingchuan's seat is close to the concubines, and she didn't come in with the princes and daughters, but with the emperors and queens. We can see how high her status is. There were only 2 people sitting alone in a seat. One was Emperor Yu Shaoyan, and the other was an old man with white hair, white beard, and old-fashioned face. The old man with an old-fashioned face was a little bloated and fat, but he had a sharp mouth. It looked very strange and funny. When Long Chen sees Yu Qingxian, his eyes light up. Without saying a word, he walks over. Hello, Long Chen, your seat is here. When Yu Qianxue sees that Long Chen walks directly to Yu Qingxian, her face turns white with fright. She wants to pull Long Chen, but she doesn't hold on to it. She's sweating. Does this guy take this place as his home? I don't know the rules. This elder sister, you are gentle and kind, and you are extremely beautiful. Can you do me a favor and let's change seats? Long Chen says to the woman beside Yu Qingxian with a smile. The woman is also a princess. She came in with Yu Qingxian as a companion. When she saw Long Chen coming and talking to her like this, she was stunned. Her eyes were wide open and she didn't know what to say. It's a state banquet. It's a good place to change. What's more, in front of your majesty, is it crazy? Yu Xiaoyun looks gloomy and doesn't speak. Jiang Huixin and Su Lan look at each other and can't help shaking their heads. It seems that the child's brain is a little abnormal. Can't he see the heat at all? This. The woman looked at the emperor and the two queens, and stood up involuntarily. Seeing that the queen and her majesty did not stop her, she changed her position with Long Chen and went to Yu Qiang's side. It's done. Looking at Yu Qingchuan's pretty face turning red, I don't know whether she is ashamed or anxious. Long Chen stretched out two fingers and made a gesture of victory. Attending important occasions, wearing casual clothes, being frivolous and unruly, the atmosphere of the Rosefinch Empire was ruined by people like you. The old man's face was suddenly cold. In front of the emperor, other people did not dare to speak, but the old man was not polite criticism. His eyes were full of contempt. Old man, I tell you, I'm not what I used to be. You'd better not compete with me, or don't blame me for not giving you face. Long Chen looked at the old man and warned. Long Chen, that's Sun Fuzi. Yu Qingxian quickly tells Long Chen to wake up the old man's identity. What is love? No matter what I do, I just want to have a table with my wife? Have you broken the law? Looking at the old man's neck. You didn't break the law, but you broke the etiquette, justice and shame, disturbed the rules of the monarch and his ministers, and broke the rules. You are too young to respect the old and respect the king. You don't know what integrity is. What face do you have to talk about here? The old man's face was expressionless and cold. The old man's words were sharp and merciless. In front of the emperor, he pointed out that Long Chen was not the one who wanted Long Chen to stay here. Besides the emperor's concubines, the envoys and most of the princes and daughters, with a look of expectation in their eyes, hoped that the master could teach this boy a lesson. Push your nose on your face, don't you? Give you 3 colors and start dying? You want to play, don't you? You shameless old man, I will accompany you dragon dust anger from the heart, evil to the edge of life, looking at the old man's sneer. When they saw that the dragon dust was on fire, they dared to scold the master. Everyone was surprised, but they looked at the emperor, and the emperor was expressionless, as if nothing had happened. They didn't intervene at all. What's the situation? www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.